This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack, hydration, and coffee sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fueled you'll need to win the day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ Bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. All IQ Bar products are packed with clean, delicious ingredients that keep you physically and mentally fit, like magnesium, lion's mane, and more. Also, they're just delicious. They're really tasty. So many great flavors. I just tried the new mint chocolate chip protein bar, and it's really, really good. You need to try it. If you are someone who's constantly on the go, looking for a tasty, healthy, good-for-you snack, you gotta try out the IQ Bars. It's absolutely perfect. Perfect for travel. Perfect for just that mid-afternoon snack. Packed with things that are good for you, not things that are not. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text FILES, F-I-L-E-S, to 64,000. Text FILES to 64,000. That's FILES to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another dynamic episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by my very gorgeous, pregnant, lovely wife.
That's me.
Sierra is back in studio. Super excited to have her because we have not heard her Summer House Scamanda take. Are you calling it Scamanda, Sierra? What are you calling it?
Yeah, what are you calling it?
I'm taking it the all-consuming situationship of my life.
Yeah, I've seen Westgate.
Westgate's pretty good. I kind of like Westgate.
Westgate.
It's, a little it's going to have, yeah. Well, we'll get into all that. We also have Rebecca Jennings from New York Magazine joining us momentarily to help us break down all things Scamanda, Westgate, whatever you want to call it. We also have some updates in the world of the Mormon wives. Taylor Frankie Paul has left the Mormon church. Dakota has been cut from Vanderpump Villa, and we'll talk about all that with Rebecca Jennings as well. She recently interviewed Taylor Frankie Paul before her season of The Bachelorette was about to come out, and then subsequently has been put on pause or canceled. We still don't know yet, but certainly a lot to get in with Rebecca. All the reality TV controversy that is upon us.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Cynthia Bailey, queen, friend of show, host of Humble Brag, and star of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which debuted last night. And so Cynthia will be joining us to give us a little insight of what we can expect from this season of Atlanta. And also your favorite Bravo impersonator, Miguel Luciano, is also with us to help us break down all Real Housewives. We have a new Housewives franchise. Rhode Island is here. I think it's pretty good.
I love it.
We have a new heartthrob of Bravo, and it's my old roommate, Jared Haben. The ladies of Bravo are just dying over his jawline, and I've been like, I used to have coffee with that jawline every morning.
Like, where have you been the last 2 decades?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun to see Bravo discover Jared Haben.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that he's like this unassuming, like coffee shop running. Like it's very much giving a Hallmark, their situation.
Yes, she moves to Rhode Island for him in this group of women now that she really is like the POV
Oh, yeah.
entrance into the show, and I couldn't be happier.
I don't know what Ashley's role is going to be on this season. I don't think she's one for polyamory.
No.
She's not going to swing.
When like Ashley's like my sister, like Jared, like I've known these are some of my closest friends. And when they were talking about like who here's had a threesome, like had Ashley raised her hand in that moment, that would have been as if I was watching a TV show with like my little sister admitting that thank God she didn't. She did not raise her hand. I think Ashley is going to be the perfect talking head for this group. Like she is a professional narrator from years of experience from the Bachelor franchise. But we'll get into all that later this episode when Cynthia and Miguel join us. But I want to get into Sarah. I want to get into your Scamanda take. I don't know if you guys have watched the reunion for Age of Attraction. It is out. It is streaming. Everyone is talking about. And the Age of Attraction cast, they are doing their work. and trying to keep
Oh,
the
yeah.
drama continuing when it comes to the Age of Attraction reunion. I gotta say, like, I'm a bit surprised. Most people are Team John and when it comes to the John and Teresa, I did not see that coming, and I wonder what people think about that. I would love, Mary, if you could just kind of give a synopsis of what maybe the fans are saying between John and Teresa.
Yeah, so I think a lot of what the fans are reacting to is their team John sometimes, in my opinion, because I think people don't necessarily want to take the side of like a woman in that situation is kind of what it reads to me a little bit, but that's just my opinion. I think it boils down to the text or voice memo, I forget what it was
I think it was
that
a voice
Teresa
memo.
had sent John. Yeah, I think that, it was a very charged, highly emotional moment, and I think people probably read that as like a little bit manipulative, I guess, but I don't know. And I think maybe also because of I think in discussions about these age gap relationships, at least from what I've seen online, I think a lot of people tend to be harder on the older person in that dynamic.
That's what I was wondering.
Regardless of if that's fair.
It seems that
Yeah.
that seems to be the case, that there doesn't seem to be a lot of space. We're not holding space for the older people in these like relationships. It's almost like, I don't know. It's like John's the younger person and Teresa should know better or something.
But it's also like John's a full adult man, and it's Teresa's first time living too.
Yeah.
Just because she's older than him doesn't mean she's gonna be some bearer of all wisdom in relationships and do everything perfect. Like, I think that's a very unfair standard to hold on her.
What do you think, sweetheart?
Well, he's in the club flirting it up with Leah, so
I don't know if he was
true.
flirting up. I think the Age of Attraction cast has a contact at TMZ. They were was it who was on a they were on a
Leah, Chris, and
Bus
Jorge
tour?
did the TMZ bus
Yes.
tour.
After dark.
That's an interesting group. Leah, Chris, and Jorge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fences are mended between Chris and Leah.
Chris and Leah, I think, are tight.
I don't think there's anything going on between Leah and John.
Neither.
At the reunion, Leah was sitting was sitting next to John, but there was a whole ocean between the two of them. And then there was something Leah wanted to get into that we didn't get into. It had something to do with this pact, or when they mentioned Instagram shenanigans. I think they were clearing the air, I think is what you saw. I think that was a conversation of them clearing the air. I don't think there's anything going on. But maybe not. Maybe I'll be surprised.
That would be wild.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then what was this recent report about Derek and
Angel, which is who I was referring to when I asked him about it on the reunion.
he did
And-
DM me and said he might have to come back and clear the air.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't watched the reunion yet, be sure to do that. You can listen to it, or most people, and rightfully, are watching it. It is available now on YouTube. So get into the debate on whose side you are on. It is out, is available. All right, Sarah, you've been watching Summer House since season 1. You are our official, unofficial Summer House historian. When this news broke, you were traveling, so I didn't get to talk with you. But when did you realize it was real? Before the statement? The statement?
It took this statement. I was in complete denial because, I mean, everything that we were hearing beforehand was all hearsay, rumors, leaked, spotted, whatever, but like nothing with concrete evidence, no photos. A video of her wiping something off of his mouth, as much as I was like, girl, I would never do that for a guy friend of mine that I am not sleeping with. However, Summer House, they all kind of have weird dynamics where they're very touchy, very close, and sober. So it's just like, okay, maybe this is just the dynamic of their friendship. When they put out that black screen white text, I lost my mind. I still remember just the chills that I got, because I was just like, it was like douche pimples. Like, I'm just like, you didn't address any of like the things that mattered in this whole thing. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're friends, but we don't know how we fell into it. Like, girl, you were sneaking around for however many months, made this conscious decision, and then all of a sudden I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her because I can't believe she got caught. Like, no, I don't feel bad for you at all. I think this is the dumbest decision that both of them made. They both are on their highest arcs of their seasons, of the series. And then it's like, you both just kamikazed that so fast. I don't even know. And like, West is out laying out, listening to music, vacationing, living his best life, gaining followers. You've got Kyle doing interviews on the street. I'm just like, why are we not picking up cameras? But at the same time, this reunion is going to be insane because it's going to be the first time that they've all been in the same room together since this broke. And I'm like, Thank God. Best reunion to come.
Is that rumor true that Andy will be sitting down with West, Amanda, and Sierra for the reunion individually?
It's not like like Bravo hasn't announced it. I think a lot of people are just kind of assuming that it's going to happen, a la Scandal.
Yeah, because I definitely, reunion-wise, I don't think we can unpack this all by putting everyone in a room and having everyone yell at each other. I want to hear Sierra's version. I want to hear Amanda's version. I want to hear Wes's version. I want to hear the different stories.
How similar do you think Wes and Amanda's versions are going to be?
Oh, I honestly think we're about to hear 3 very different versions because, I mean, also obviously things are coming out saying that him and Sierra were together within the last like month and a half. Plus you have the Super Bowl stuff, you know, Dave Portnoy said that he knew about their affair back then, but he was at the Super Bowl with Sierra. So I'm like, and then you have these other women coming out.
Are we calling it an affair?
I would be shocked if it wasn't. From rewatching this season.
You're prepared to say that Amanda was cheating on Kyle? Or speculate?
I think there might have been some overlap. I think it takes a lot for somebody to leave. Amanda didn't give that she was going to be leaving that marriage anytime soon. And the only thing that I could think that would promote her to move to get out of it would be with somebody else.
Okay.
I missed you.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, if I'm wrong, I will apologize. But I'm just saying that I'm just like, the timeline doesn't make sense. The shit that we're seeing rewatching Summer House. And think about it. If this didn't come out, we would have just watched this season of Summer House like it was just another normal season. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then it's like this stuff comes out, then people go back and you're looking at these scenes and looking at the intimacy, how close they're sitting next to each other, how they're joking, calling Kyle her boyfriend. Like, why is that a funny joke?
I was literally about to make a West and Sierra Talk Charlie XCX Troye Sivan remix fan cam. Like, that's the level of Delulu I was on watching this season. So it's insane like, that's to know.
Right? And then rewatching scenes between West and Sierra, like now it just feels icky.
Have we figured out what the whole sock thing was in the bathroom? Like, he grabbed a sock, he put it in his pants, and he came out and saw Kyle and then acted like he was like, Kyle, you need to go check on her. And like pulled the sock out of his pants.
So what I've been seeing about that is that was like a hot mic moment, so that he used that to cover the mic. This is all speculation because all I've seen is like Daddy Andy is not going to be happy about this, and a lot of people are taking that scene, removing the background audio, enhancing the microphone audio.
The Geek Squad's coming out, the Bravo Geek Squad. Yeah.
They slowed it down. It sounds like he calls her baby.
Oh my God, what if they reverse it? This is just like when people thought Paul McCartney died.
I swear to God, I heard a kiss in there too. Like, I don't know. So that's where I'm just like, I would think that the only thing that he would know is that he was about to say something inappropriate, tried to make sure that the mic was covered as much as possible, you know, because he's not going to need a sock for anything else.
Well, on Thursday's episode, I mentioned that I had heard that the receipts exist. And that's all I was comfortable saying at the time. And then that these alleged receipts that exist were going to be shown to Andy, and it may or may not be brought up at the reunion. Between then and now, TMZ came out with a story. Mary, do you have that story?
Yeah, so basically it came out that sources close to the situation tell TMZ that Sierra obtained a video allegedly showing Amanda and West being intimate in his apartment, something that left her upset. We're told neither Amanda nor West knew they were being recorded. One source tells us Amanda sent Sierra a text on Monday afternoon saying she never meant to hurt her. We're told Amanda also said she wanted to sort out her feelings about West before discussing the romance with her friend.
I mean, I don't know if this obviously is true or not. Can you imagine being the like building across from where Wes Wilson lives, and he has every time his blinds are open, he's just like being watched and recorded, and the like.
Do we think that's what it is?
How else are there a video of them being intimate?
Well, there's so many rumors about this alleged video going on. Did someone hire a PI?
I heard a voice note from a friend, allegedly a friend of Hannah, that was retelling the whole story, and said that Sierra was the one that hired a PI, but that the PI kind of came up short. Somebody who is a blogger obtained said video. I don't know if they were the one that took the video, and that Sierra had reached out to them asking for the video to be sent to her, and that the person was like, no, because of legal reasons or whatever. So then after the PI failed, that Sierra reached out to the person and said, can we meet up so I can at least see the video? And that's how she saw what happened between Amanda and West.
Man.
If that's true, hiring a PI feels like some of the most like rich person drama I've ever.
Yeah.
It seems like
It's
I
in
know
New York
it's like a
City.
thing,
Yeah.
but it's just like it's something you only see in movies and TV
It
shows.
also feels like you don't need a PI because you have the entire internet behind you who is
Mhm.
all FBI agents. We're all private investigators. Like we all know more than whoever this like 50-year-old man that you would have hired would have been able to like tail Amanda and find out where she's going and what she's doing. Like the internet knows more than that man. And so I do feel like that would have been a waste of money.
But it would be crazy if one got hired. Am I the only one who thinks that?
I agree, but I feel like maybe she didn't think the internet would internet. I don't know.
But also it begs the question, is this video, this supposed video?
It's not right.
It doesn't seem
No,
okay.
but
It just seems
imagine.
like questionable that this video exists, period.
Exists.
Like it seems like maybe not okay for this video to have been recorded. Then there's layers there. And it kind of makes me wonder, I really want to know how this all went down in terms of how did this video get recorded if this video exists? How was this video presented to the people involved? Like, was she reached out to by a blogger? Did that same person then let West and Amanda know that this video exists? Because to me, everyone's talking about this like joint PR statement, which was bonkers, right? Like the fact that Amanda and West put out this joint statement together, not even
Collab
confirming a relationship.
basically.
Maybe it was very vague, right? A lot of people had problems with the fact that it didn't like address Sierra,
Yeah.
which is like makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, I think it's a lose-lose. Because if they put in like if they put out a statement and talked about like it almost would have looked really bad if they would have like assumed that Sierra would be bothered by it. I mean, I think she is bothered by it, and rightfully so. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like it would be a kind of almost and by the way, we're sorry, Sierra. Like if in a joint statement they would have
It definitely would have felt disingenuous.
Yes,
for sure.
and, like,
to
it just
throw
would have
into,
been-
like your statement talking about how you found this connection between the two of you, and like there's just no right way.
it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that,
was
but
gonna
I
say,
do
when you
think
have
they
the
should have done it.
Yeah, when you have the like Chat GPT apology
Mhm.
where it's just kind of like keep everything vague, nothing specific, but then like give us our privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to come off wrong. If it was like a heartfelt apology, because I've seen some where I'm like, you know, maybe they use pink background, white text. I don't know. But like
They changed up the color scheme at
and somehow
least.
it affects something. No, but like I've seen heartfelt apologies on
Yeah.
people's Instagram stories where I'm like, okay, I believe that they're genuinely sorry. Where I'm like, the way that these two people were sneaking around, then you go back into their Instagram post and it's like she's got "Best Day Ever" by West Wilson and like can't be or going back to Friends is like the song of it, and it's like West all over. Like if I were Sierra and that's one of my best friends, I'd be like, girl, do you not have anybody else you can hang out with besides like my ex fling?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just fucking weird.
Also, you're watching the two of them, even if it's kind of for TV, reconnect. You know what I mean? Like, even at the end of the day, if the West and Sierra thing did end up being something they were kind of both leaning into for a storyline, which it doesn't seem like it if they were hooking up again. But let's say, for argument's sake, that it was and it was not real. Still, she's fucking ruining her storyline. That's a shitty coworker move. So it's like either she's a shitty friend, a shitty coworker, or both.
I'm gonna go both.
Yeah, she's definitely just a shitty friend behavior. I just think when this video came out, like I honestly think it's all centered around this video because this video came out and I think Amanda and Wes panicked because now there's like evidence of them being together. You know what I'm saying? Like it went from all these rumors. We are all thinking some sort of like bad April Fool's joke. And then all of a sudden like this weird joint statement. And I feel like a lot comes down to this. I think this video played a big role.
I also think that like their bubble got popped because what I heard, not confirmed fully, that Sierra saw that Amanda was at Wes's house in like Find My Friends, and that she texted her being like, "Are you guys just friends or what's going on?" And that Amanda took 15 hours to respond and then said just friends, and that Sierra responded, "Well, you can still have sex with your friend," or something like that. And then like a day or so later was when Amanda was like, "I'm sorry, like it's actually something serious." So I'm like, it's just giving that like you guys were living in your own little fantasy world of this affair, this relationship, this situationship, whatever you want to call it. And then once it got real was when people started to talk about it, start piecing things together, and then not dropping it. And then for 2 weeks, they're being consistently questioned about it. Then I'm like, yeah, then for the fact that there's an actual video, like it's like you guys either have to come forward or something else is going to get released, not within your own narrative. But I just don't know why this would be the narrative that they chose.
I don't think they chose it as much as it was a panicked response. And then they got some bad advice from whatever publicist they decided to work with.
Did you see Lindsay's story she was like, their new publicist is Alex from Love is Blind?
Yeah.
You know what I've learned about publicists? It's just like when stuff like this happens, the average publicist is not in crisis PR. They're typically not well versed in crisis PR. It's been my experience. And usually when this stuff happens, you get on these phone calls and there's just a lot of guessing. A lot of ideas being thrown out, a lot of guesses. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. And then somehow you get this like, well, let's do this joint statement. But I really think this joint statement was just a crazy reaction to not knowing what the fuck they're supposed to do and things getting out of control.
Yeah. I just don't understand why, if you're having this torrid affair that you're trying to keep hidden, you're wearing his Remy Wolf sweatshirt and all of his fucking clothes all over the place.
I mean, I will say that like some of the things that, like an Elwood hat, very common, like very, like if you're in, like some of the stuff, it's like maybe there's just two of them and maybe they both bought the same hat. Maybe she saw
Elwood
it on West.
Gifted them all.
Maybe Elwood was like,
Elwood,
here's a PR
Elwood,
package.
You know, they got some great
Fair
hoodies.
enough.
Shout out to
Good
Elwood. I really enjoy their stuff.
Good point. Maybe not Elwood. Maybe the Remy Wolf merch specifically spoke to me, or I think it's the fact that West did that with the Chicago girl and wore the like horsehair tie that she made on Watch What Happens Live. So like it's like their fashion is. It's really interesting. I wonder what you think about it, of like the way they're using clothes to almost like soft launch these situationships on TV.
I mean, it's giving to me that West has an MO.
Yeah.
Like if you're wearing your other girly stylist horsehair tie on Watch What Happens Live, which obviously means you guys have seen each other in the last couple of weeks to exchange that, to Amanda and him changing clothes. Like, I'm just like, it just seems like that's like what he's into. But I'm
her saying like the reason that she was able to come back this season was like because of West and Jessie. How
Who's
they've
Sierra,
been Amanda. And like how they've been like so supportive of her or something. And it's like, that's those two guys are why you feel like so comfortable coming back.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
she has not decentered men.
Yeah, she likes the attention and the flirtation, because like all I've seen is the commentary on Sierra and how she couldn't have gotten through the summer without her. And I'm just like, what a bold statement to say after the season when this is how you're moving.
Well, I think it's a great time to bring in Rebecca Jennings from New York Magazine, who is also covering the story. A lot more to discuss. I am curious here as we discuss this with Rebecca. Are we, like, to me, I think criticizing Amanda and Wes, by all means, they deserve criticism. Amanda, but I'm curious for the audience. Can we criticize Amanda and Wes without condemning them, or is this full condemning? You know, are we?
I think the issue is no one's condemning West. The
I
fact
think
that
some
he's
people.
gained,
I mean, we are.
He's gained over 50,000 followers
It's
because
crazy.
of this.
Well, because like
And
again,
she's losing brand deals is nuts.
no, I think it is nuts, and I'm curious because to me, like I can make a lot of sense how Amanda got to this place. I don't know what actually happened, but I think you can criticize Amanda. Rightfully so. I think she was a bad friend to Sierra. I think maybe, my question is, how much does Amanda regret this, if at all? Does she realize the error of her ways? Because to me, how this all went down makes a lot of sense. And that's why I think West is, because to me, I want to know, how did this start?
Yeah.
Because I think that really matters. Anyways, we'll get into it. Let's bring on Rebecca. We'll dive deeper into Westgate. I like Westgate.
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 West will scam.
I like Westgate better.
So like West will scam.
All right, let's bring on Rebecca. Before we dive into it, don't forget that all episodes of Viall Files Plus are now ad-free. In addition to that, we have our Reality Recap Deep Dives. We'll certainly be diving deep. All things Summer House scandal, The Bachelorette scandal, Mormon wives, all of that we'll be diving deep into this week. Plus, get your update specials, your favorite update calls from your favorite Ask Nick episodes, as well as your Pop Extra Roundup, where we talk about all your favorite pop culture topics we didn't get to talk about on Reality Recap. Go to viallfiles.com to sign up. You'll be glad that you did. Do not miss out. Let me guess, you've got a folder of saved Instagram workouts you never actually do. I know what that feels like. Been there. Or something else I had been doing, the same routine for years. And that's where Ladder has come in. It's been super helpful. Ladder is an expert strength training plan, not a content library. These aren't influencer workouts or challenges. It's real progressive programming designed by certified coaches. It feels like you have a coach right with you. Many of their workouts, you don't even need any equipment. You can take that workout with you wherever you go, on vacation, on a work trip, at home. They got Pilates, they got bodybuilding where you'd only need at-home dumbbells, hybrid strength, glute-focused programs, kettlebells, pre- and postnatal. Whether you train at home or at the gym, there's a plan for you. That's another thing about Ladder. You can take, as long as you have a device, you can take it with you to the gym, or if you want to have workout equipment. You have many great workouts to do now with the Ladder app. It costs less than $1 a day. It feels like you have a personal trainer in your ear, making sure that you're getting the most of your workouts. That was my biggest problem for working out. It's just like, and I have a pretty expansive history with working out. I'm pretty comfortable with it, but I'm always like doing the same stuff. Ladder has helped me be more diverse with the type of workout I am doing, working out every part of my body and getting all kinds of fitness. Because now that as I'm getting older, it's different workouts are required for me to feel my best self. Remove the guesswork with Ladder and get a real coach in your ear telling you exactly what to do for every workout. No thinking, everything is planned for you. If you have an iPhone, head to ladder.fit/VIALL and take a quick quiz to find your perfect Ladder plan. Use our link to get a free 7-day trial with no credit card and $10 off your first month if you join.
This time of year always makes me rethink what's in my closet. I'm trying to keep fewer things, but better ones, pieces that are well made and easy to wear all the time. That's why I keep coming back to Quince. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are thoughtful, and the pricing actually makes sense. We're getting into spring, we're getting into summer, and everyone needs a good pair of linen pants, a linen dress, a linen shirt. Your man needs a linen shirt. Everyone needs to be in linen this summer, okay? And Quince makes high-quality, everyday essentials using premium materials, 100% European linen, and their insanely soft flow-knit activewear fabric, which is moisture-wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it all day. The best part is that all of their prices are 50 to 60% less than similar brands. They also don't even just have clothing. They also have home decor. I have gotten their linen duvets, chef's kiss, very good. Their curtains, blackout, amazing. Everything Quince is doing is just very, very good. They've become a go-to across the board. So refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/VIALL for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to QUINCE.com/VIALL for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/VIALL.
Monarch is an all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this year and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code VIALL. Monarch keeps you focused on planning and hitting financial milestones, not just tracking your spending. Monarch gives you a complete picture, budget, debt, payoffs, timelines, saving goals, net worth, so you can make decisions that actually move the needle. So whether maybe you're saving up for that big purchase, like buying your first home, or maybe it's getting yourself out of credit card debt, Monarch will help guide you to those goals. More information, better insight, know what you are spending on and when and how you need to save. Also, they have AI Assistant 24/7 access to financial coach, accessible from anywhere in Monarch. From questions about trends in your spending to how to pay off debt, the AI Assistant has answers for you. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code VIALL at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code VIALL. Rebecca, welcome to the show. Great to be with you.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you. Before we start, can you give our audience just a little bit background on yourself? Obviously, you write for New York Magazine. You seem very entrenched in all things pop culture, but can you give us a little bit of background about yourself, and we'll dive into all things reality TV scandal?
Yeah, basically, I dive really deep on the things we all love: internet culture, influencers, reality TV, this wonderful world we're all in.
Well, we love talking about it. You love writing about it. We're very, very excited to have you with us. You also recently interviewed Taylor Frankie Paul, correct?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
I visited her in Salt Lake City and I was on set for The Bachelorette in November.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely want to dive into that as well. But we are talking, are you calling it Scamanda? I think we came up with Westgate, or maybe, man, did you come up with that?
The internet.
The internet did? Okay. I like Westgate, but what are you calling it, Rebecca?
I mean, Westgate, I feel like, is more journalistic. You know, it references Watergate, which is always fun. But Scamanda, I think, rolls off the tongue a little better. I think people are comparing it to Scandival. So I get it. But, you know, Westgate is, you know, I would say the more accurate term.
Well, it also, like, I mean, one, you know, I do think it's interesting whose name is represented in the scandal, either West or Amanda. I think a lot of people want it to be Amanda because I think the internet seems to be more frustrated at Amanda than West. If for no other reason, like, I think, I don't know where you stand, Rebecca, but I think everyone in this room feels like West, he's not getting the right amount of criticism, and Amanda seems to be getting it more. But it makes sense to me just under the lens of, I think we all agree that Ciara's the one we have the most empathy for. She's the person who's been the most victimized by the story. And I think we all just assume that, well, West deserves a lot of criticism and he clearly didn't consider Ciara's feelings, but that Ciara is probably more upset at Amanda and that friendship. And that's the big betrayal. So therefore, that's what we're focusing on. And whether it's right or wrong, it's not that we're giving West a pass, but that seems to be where most of the energy is going, because it's like we're not surprised by West's behavior. We're most surprised by Amanda's ability to betray her friend, Ciara.
Yeah, I think that as viewers of the show, we were always much more like shipping their friendship versus shipping West and Ciara. I think most viewers were like, yeah, like we want Ciara to have like a great relationship with this guy who seems fun and cool. But I think over the course of, I think 5 years now, it's been that the friendships between the women have always been sort of like the dominant relationships of the show, the ones that we can actually root for. And I think that as viewers, I think, feel more betrayed by that than by like a man on Bravo doing something shitty like Taylor's Oldest Time. Like we've seen that a million times.
For sure. But it's interesting because like now you have like fans wanting to argue, is this Scandival? Is this behavior, like where does this rank in the history of bad behavior of Bravo celebrities? And like to your point, objectively speaking, while this is like a big story and like there's certainly a lot to unpack and there's so many layers, when you actually look at what happened, when you compare it to, say, Jax Taylor or whatever, you know, there's a lot of bad behavior in Bravo, like sometimes illegal behavior, sometimes, you know, bullying and like some really nasty stuff. And when you compare it to that, you're like, yeah, this is juicy, but like, you know, there is some other really bad stuff going on, which is, it's just kind of fascinating. Well, I am curious. There's so much rumors going on now. TMZ reported about this video. I had heard before TMZ reported about this video that receipts did exist and that were going to be shown to Andy. Have you heard anything that you can confirm, or are you just like us, kind of just seeing a bunch of rumors that we don't know what is and isn't true?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in this sort of like media mush pile where it's like, what is true, what isn't right now. I tried to get tea. I went to the Summer House watch party at Soft Bar last Tuesday. Carl was not there. He was traveling. I asked the bartenders. I was like, they were like, we don't watch the show. And also our management told us to not talk about this. So I was like, okay, fair. So I achieved zero tea, but I too am in the depths of the Reddit master threads with everyone else. Trying to figure it out, and I would love, you know, some clarity.
Well, I had heard there was a video, and then TMZ, you know, from second, third hand, you know, from a couple people, and then TMZ reported on it. So I think there's got to be something there. And to me, I'm curious about like where did it go from being a rumor that Amanda and Wes were clearly denying to all their friends to being essentially, it seems like, I don't want to say forced, but like what caused this joint statement? It seemed to be something that went from rumors to like, what caused them to hire a PR team together and put out this statement? And it makes a lot of sense that this alleged video might exist. And that's what maybe perpetuated them to like make this aggressive move that we all are kind of confused by. It's like, are you together? Are you not together? Like, what is this statement?
Yeah, they didn't even confirm a relationship. It was a connection, which I think is really interesting. But I think, like, I don't know. I know a lot of people were really surprised when they confirmed it, but also, like, as a journalist, like, when there are rumors, like, to that degree, like, it's pretty much always true. Like, it just is. Like, so many people aren't going to say the same thing unless they're, and especially, like, having video or photographic evidence of something, that just doesn't happen unless there's something there. And so I was never super surprised by it, but I was surprised by that statement, which did seem really wishy-washy. It didn't really make sense to me. And it very much is, like, more to come, but also from what we're hearing about West dating other women and, like, them not even confirming that it is a relationship rather than doing the easy thing, which is just maybe making, like, a statement or talking to Sierra behind the scenes and being like, it was a drunken hookup. We were in a situationship and it's over and we were really sorry. Instead, it was just like, well, yes, and ... and we don't know. And yeah, it was crazy. It's like, I'm curious at what you think as someone who's been in front of the cameras about that statement. Like, what would ever possess someone like you to put out something like that?
Sheer panic, like not knowing. No, but seriously. And I've thought so much about this because, like, listen, and, you know, it's like the internet, I think as we follow this story, we have to recognize that as much as we condemn this, we all love the drama. And I think there's these, it's like, well, it can't be true. It can't be true. There's a part of us that all are secretly, like, hoping it's true because it's drama that's outside of our own lives. Amanda was a bad friend of Sierra. There's no debate there, right? But I think a lot of people are asking, like, how could this happen? To me, I'm not shocked this happened for, like, a lot of reasons. Like, there's a human side and there's a TV side. I think from the human side, if we're being honest, we can all relate to knowing what it's like to be in a relationship for a long time and then getting out of that relationship and feeling very confused about, like, what our future holds, like what that dating landscape is like. You have this group of friends that are very close, right? They operate very high school-like, you know, we see old clips of this, like, are they friends? Are they having sex? I don't know what's going on. Like, I wouldn't act that way around my friend. And there's, like, this closeness there. And then, like, I have empathy for Amanda, not because it's not like, oh, that doesn't make her not a bad friend. It's just more, she's married to this guy for 10 years, right? We've broken down this relationship at nauseum. She's had Kyle's back. You know, and all of a sudden she's single for the first time in 10 years. And I can imagine Amanda being very confused about, like, her dating life. Meanwhile, her ex-husband is now a DJ and he's out there clubbing. And I imagine it's probably pretty easy for Kyle to meet women, you know, and I'm pretty sure he's out there. And I bet Kyle has different standards for, like, what his dating life's going to look like for the next 6 months. Might be open to the casual hookup here or there while he's DJing. And then you have Amanda, who's probably not into that, right? And then she has the comfort of this guy named West, who's this very affable, very flirty, you know, there's this security there. There's this friendship there. And it doesn't make it okay, but I think we all can relate to that feeling of, like, oh, this guy's nice to me. And then I'm thinking, okay, is Amanda really going to jump on Hinge? You know what I'm saying? Is Amanda going to start going on dating apps? I bet there's a lot of nervousness of, like, oh, I'm this kind of famous person and this confusion. So she's not out there dating. And then there's this guy named West. That's a very relatable story. Am I making any sense or no? No.
You're making sense. It's just kind of like, he's not like this guy West, though. He's this guy West that's been actively in a relationship on and off with one of her best friends.
Sure.
Who she sat in a bed and listened to, cry to about, try and figure out the situation, make jokes about their behavior over the summer. And then for me, too, like, where I'm like, you're saying your biggest issue with Kyle is the drinking, the partying, the going out, and then you get done with Kyle and the first person you date is somebody who likes to party, drink, and go out and not commit.
Yeah, I think there's, to all your points, I think we can easily pick it all apart of why it was a foolish decision. She clearly wasn't thinking clearly. You know what I'm saying? I don't think.
You can see how clearly they were hanging out a ton. They were, like, there's so many videos of them, like, walking the streets of New York, whether it's in big groups or on, like, these influencer trips together. And, like, you can see where maybe they're out, they're a little drunk. He's like, just come back to my place. Like, and she's like, this is my friend.
I'm just like, when we're all this, like, I can't believe this happened. I just think you can connect dots to be like, no, I mean, I can see how it happened. It doesn't make it, you know, You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it's also just like cheating happens, and not that there was technically any cheating going on, but it's like this stuff happens in friend groups all the time.
exactly.
Like
Yes.
people who are not on reality TV. And so it's just like, but I
Mhm.
think that's why the fans are so like upset over this, because like people see themselves and people see that they could be on one end of this situation at some point in their lives, and how betrayed they would feel, because like they do feel like they know these people. And so it's like, yes, it can happen, and it's probably more common than like anyone wants to admit, but like it's seeing it like this with these characters that we've known for a decade is just like really troubling, I think, for a lot of people's sense of like peace and
Yes.
who they
Well,
are.
I think you nailed it,
Yeah.
Rebecca. I think why we're so caught up in the story is because how relatable it is for all of us. You know, we might not have done exactly this, right? But throughout our lives, these relationship dynamics and friends and betrayals and like the mental gymnastics we do to convince ourselves. Like, I would be curious what Amanda's, like, how she got there. Like, I'm sure she did some kind of mental gymnastics to convince herself that what she was doing wasn't as bad as we all feel it as it is, right? It's just like, well, you know, they weren't ever really dating. I don't know. But I think it's a friendship dynamic that is very relatable. And unlike the Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and Mormon Wives of it all, which is like, again, very heavy, and we're talking about some really bad behavior, not condoning what Amanda and Wes did, is that like this is all very relatable, and this happens all the time. And you know, like while we're like freaking out about this scandal, we have Carl and Lindsay doing Uber Eat campaigns already, you know, kind of
Carl's a mess.
Carl's a mess, and like monetizing this drama already. So it's kind of like to say no one died, so to speak. You know, it's just like it's something we can all like get activated, using the words of Lindsay Hubbard, and get really kind of righteous about like what side we're on, and I would never do that, and oh my God, fuck any friend who would do that. But like, I think it's easy for us to talk about it because we've all been wrapped up in some kind of relationship drama that has hints of this drama that we're talking about.
Right, exactly. And I think like there has been such a shift in fandoms of reality TV shows. Like I would say like post-pandemic, fandom in general has gotten really like up to a 10. Like the way that Love Island now has to put like, hey, don't like send death threats to our cast like every time it airs. I think a similar thing happens on Bravo, where it's like instead of being entertained by something, by drama that in the way that maybe we used to 10, 20 years ago, now we want like justice, and we want to see the justice, and we expect that the people are looking at what we say on social media and reacting to it, and then like will come correct at the next meeting. And it's just a completely different way of interacting with reality television, I think.
Yeah, you have some people out there suggesting that Amanda and Wes, they should basically be exiled from reality TV. They should never get another campaign ever again. They should be banished from polite society, is essentially like what a lot of people online are suggesting. I'm curious, Sierra, or just for the house, if this went to court and you were the judge, you know, like you got to decide Amanda's penalty. Like, what is Amanda's penalty for this crime? What would it be? And just know that the baseline is Amanda, she's no longer friends with Sierra. She's lost that friend. She's lost probably friends with Paige, maybe Hannah, which to me, it's just like losing a friend that's a loss. Like, you know, that's a real loss that Amanda now has to face. She is seen differently by her fans. She's probably already lost some money. I would say off the bat,
She lost a brand deal.
she's lost $100,000 easy. Some kind of campaign that might have worked with her in the next 6 months will probably just work with someone else, you know? So let's say as of now, she's already lost $100K, 3 best friends, and she's criticized by Bravo as, you know, a bad friend, a pick me, whatever you are judge and jury. You get to decide any further punishment. What is Amanda's punishment in addition to what she's already lost?
Again, and that to your point, like I don't even know what she's dealing with on her day to day. I kind of feel like the punishment fits the crime. Like I don't think that there's anything further that needs to happen. I think you made a terrible decision. You're on a public forefront that everyone has an opinion. Bravo fans take their shows very seriously. So it's like they hate feeling bamboozled. They feel like you fooled them. So I'm like, I feel like she's already gotten enough as it is because people just aren't going to be fucking with her anymore. She's losing money. I don't think that there's anything further that she needs to deal with. I just think that she needs, I don't know, therapy.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the like punishment idea is an interesting concept because it's like, I don't know, Rebecca, I'm thinking about what you said about how I'm thinking about Jersey Shore, right? I'm thinking about The Note and all of that shit that went down in Jersey Shore. And like, I just sat and watched that when I was like 8 and I was like, give me more. And I still kind of feel that way. And yeah, obviously I think people are being hyperbolic online, but I do think that is a lot of what it is. Like, I've seen tweets that are like, what's Zohran Mamdani's plan to get West and Amanda out of New York City? Like, that's obviously a joke and it's funny.
we're doing too much.
So it's like, I think her quote unquote punishment is getting roasted online, which is like, okay, that's not that bad.
It's gonna die. Like,
it's gonna die down.
Somebody
like,
else is gonna do something stupid, and
Exactly.
it'll never exist again. But I'm just like, yeah, for the moment, unfortunately, you made a terrible decision.
Yeah.
And an extended choice. She's also a grown ass adult, so it's kind of like, unfortunately, when you do shady things, and it comes to the forefront not by your own mouth, then you're going to have to deal with everybody coming up with stories and all that stuff. If you want to set it straight, by all means, I'm sure we'll see that at the reunion, but I don't think that there's anything further that needs to happen to her.
Okay.
yeah, and I wonder if
I agree.
you guys think if it's a good thing or a bad thing that we hold reality TV stars to kind of this like moral standard that we have ourselves as far as like what reality TV is for.
I think it's a bad thing because whenever the second that they're not giving us this type of stuff, Beverly Hills, we're like, this is boring, this is trash, we're not watching, like, come on, do something, like, let's see some action, let's see some drama. And then the second that there is drama, we're like, oh my God, ew, how could you, you're a terrible person. So it's like, you know, you can't hold the reality TV stars to the same standard.
Yeah. Rebecca, how would you feel if we saw West and Amanda on next season of Traitors?
I mean, I think there should be 1 million seasons of The Traitors, and they should just like have like a rotating cast like of all the time. They'd always be filming. So yes, put them on The Traitors. Always put people on The Traitors.
I agree, and I think anyone out there who thinks they shouldn't be given this opportunity, how do you justify Tom Sandoval getting an opportunity on Traitors? If you know what I'm saying, like if you can put Tom Sandoval on Traitors, West and Amanda certainly does.
And he was one of the best parts of that season. So
Yeah. I mean, that's, if nothing else, you can't fire them from reality TV.
Rebecca, do you think either of them will come back to next season of Summer House? Or like, are we going to see this group in the city or on Summer House?
I mean, I think we know we'll see them in the city. And I think that'll be a really interesting watch because it was filmed last fall. But I also think that I really do think that Ariana Madix sort of broke reality TV when she refused to film with Tom any longer than she needed to for that season of Vanderpump. I think it really changed the power dynamic of like stars to production, like, or from production to the stars. Like if Sierra doesn't want to film anymore, like that, like people are talking about this could spell the end of Summer House as we know it. And I think it very much could. And it completely depends on the cast. And I think a lot of stars now are realizing like they don't have to, like Paige leaving Summer House too. It's like she was like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. She's still very famous. Like Sierra all of them, if they want to, can walk away from the show and be even more famous than they were before. Like they are not beholden to it. So I think it really depends on like what they want to do.
Do you think all of them could, or do you think just Sierra could make that call right now?
I mean, as we know, there's like a very tried and true path to like going from villain to back again. Like I think, you know, people have tried, and I just think it's like impossible to plan out the arc of someone's career based on like when we're in this sort of like weeks long maelstrom of drama around two people.
I think it's not a matter of if, when. Sierra will be given at least one, if not many, opportunities to host a show of some kind. If you're Peacock, I'm locking up that contract as fast as possible. And if I'm a different streamer, I'm calling Sierra's people. Like I think Sierra's going to get whatever she wants. I hope that we see her on the red carpet of the Met Gala next to Michael B. Jordan. Apparently, Rihanna was maybe playing matchmaker there as well. Like, I think Sierra should and will get her flowers. But yeah, I also think, I don't know if anyone else in the story might have that power to do that. I think wherever Sierra goes next, I think she will have plenty of people to support her. And I think she's going to be hosting some kind of show soon.
Which, can you imagine getting that DM from Rihanna that's like, hey, babe, I'm Team Sierra. Who are you interested in this world? Let me hook you up.
Well, you know what's crazy about that is because when I interviewed the Summer House cast last February, 2025, Amanda told me that Rihanna had DM'd her being like, "You're my favorite" on the cast, like years ago. And that's why, like, when I saw that news, I was like, oh no, like you lost Rihanna. She was your girl. Yeah.
I think really, to go back to the punishment thing, Rihanna unfollowing you is maybe, like, that's enough.
Right?
You that you're her favorite.
Yeah, for Rihanna, she's too busy for the album. She's focused on her kids. She has just enough time to tell Amanda Batula, "You're not shit." Like, that's awesome. And I do think that's beautiful. Sorry.
The most fascinating thing about the story that I'm interested in is, where do Amanda and Wes stand? And I predict the Amanda and Wes breakup, so to speak. And I don't mean like breakup like their relationship, because I don't know if they're in one. I think as things come out, I think their stories aren't going to line up. And I think we'll see the breakup of like the he said, she said of Amanda and Wes. And I feel like at that point, I think people will start having, again, like, it's not forgiving what Amanda did, and it's understanding that she may never be friends with Sierra and Paige and that group again. But I do think, I just think I get the position she was in, and I have empathy for her. You know, it doesn't make it okay, but I know how alone you can feel in this reality TV space. And like when your core group of friends, like when you lose those and you have no one else, and I just feel like that's all this group had is each other. And I think it's just hard to make friends outside, you know, of these spaces, and you don't know who to trust. You know, and it just makes a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make it okay, but I do understand how she could have got there. Where West, I just feel like this is a guy who is going on Watch What Happens Live wearing the tie of some other girl who was hooking up with. Like, he didn't give a fuck. You know, he wasn't worried at all. Like, it doesn't seem like he was just kind of operating like he could kind of get away with anything, and was up until this point.
I feel like with that, I don't know. I've been going back and forth. I think the empathy I do have for Amanda is waning a bit the more I think about it, because it's like, you know exactly who Wes Wilson is. Mm-hmm. You watched him do that to Sierra. You watched him do all of these things. You watch him fuck around. You know that. You're an adult woman making your own choice. Also, like, and I say this, it's very easy to not hook up with someone. Like, it's pretty easy, even when you're in an emotional spot. I don't know.
But I hear you. I've been saying that about Wes for a long time now. But if you're gonna say you knew who Wes Wilson was, you knew what he was all about, you know,
but she didn't know that he was like fucking around with Amanda.
Yeah. No,
I
get
think
that.
If she knew that and still did it.
Again, the Amanda betraying Sierra is the thing. But I'm saying, if you're just like, what was Amanda thinking when it came to Wes as it relates to compared to Kyle? Again, we've all been duped by people. We've all convinced ourselves that this person's going to be different from us. We want to believe in people. I'm sure Wes had a million excuses as to why no one understands him and why he gets a bad rep as a fuckboy to a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that, like, we've all been in these conversations with people we talk to, and it, you know, when we're talking to them, we always hear their version and we want to believe them, you know? But if we're going to say Amanda should have known better because of what Wes represents, can't we say the same thing about Sierra? No? Is that off limits?
I don't agree, just because I'm like, that they have a one-on-one dynamic, you know what I mean? So it's not like she was watching West with somebody else and being like, oh man, it'll be different with me this time, where I feel like Amanda thinks it would be different with her this time. And again, I just think that West being able to commit to a still married woman is not shocking to me, because there is no real commitment.
Do we suspect that this relationship between West and Amanda was going on while she was still married to Kyle?
I've seen that. Yeah, well, yeah, she technically is still married, but I've definitely seen stuff that like this began either during filming or before filming of last season. I have no idea. What do you guys think? I have no information.
And even when Kyle was stopped on the street, I don't know if you saw the 3-part street interview, but
the very organic interview, yes.
Right? There was a part where he said, even I'm looking at Last Summer differently, where I'm like, oh, you feel alone. She's only paying attention to all the guys. During that fight, he said, she spent more time with you, West, than she has with me in the last 6 months. Like, that's a really interesting statement.
Yeah.
Would it matter to y'all if we find out that there was no physical line crossed prior to Kyle and Amanda's separation, but there was clearly something, you know what I'm saying? Like a connection, like a friendship. Like they were really.
Well, they've said that much publicly that they were
sure,
like,
but the
just
question
very...
is how deep did that closeness go, right? Was it them going to each other's house and like talking to 1 o'clock in the morning, having wine, holding, you know, like an intimacy there, but didn't cross, like they didn't make out, they didn't have sex.
No,
but there
all
was,
of it is inappropriate given the fact that West has fucked over her best friend several times.
And she's still a married woman. And have you seen the clip that Jessie Solomon posted? It's been circulating where it's Amanda and West in the club and they're dancing. And Amanda has West's hand on her chest and is like sinking slowly down the wall while holding his hand. And it's just like the intimacy between these two people.
Yeah.
Like this isn't giving like, oh, he's like a brother to me. Like, it's giving, like, if you guys weren't here right now, something else would be happening.
Yeah, it's also the way West defends Amanda with Kyle. It's just like, West, you've never cared about any of your friends.
Three summers.
Yeah.
Three summers you've watched Kyle
Never
yell at
stood up to
Amanda.
anybody.
Why
All of
this
a
summer
sudden.
do you care to get involved?
And every summer he's
Girly
like, I
pop.
hate confrontation. I hate like doing this with my friends. I'm not getting involved. And now all of a sudden he's like, Kyle, you need to apologize. You need to go say sorry. You need to give her a hug.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mr. No Commitment all of a sudden wants to give dating and relationship advice.
Yeah.
Kyle, you got to go talk to your wife. She deserves to be spoken to. Like, why do you know how my wife deserves to be spoken to? Why are you lecturing me about how to treat my wife? Because you're spending more time with her than I am, which is already red flag fucking weird.
And to be clear, do you just want to say Kyle Cook still treated Amanda like shit?
And
I feel like we're all being very nice to Kyle right now, which he did. He got fucked over,
Well,
but at the same time, brother, you still treated her like shit.
and he's doing the only thing he can do right now, which is actually to support Amanda, which is definitely, I think, the right thing to do.
But I will say that, like, if a lot of this stuff comes to be that, like, she was seeing West and overlapping and whatnot, then I'm like, I actually do have a different level of empathy for Kyle, because Kyle is being made to look like a crazy person. That's like, my wife doesn't hang out with me. My wife doesn't want to spend time with me. And we're all like, yeah, well, you chose to DJ and you're running your company into the ground. And there's so many reasons as to how this is your fault. But if the actual emotional distance is because Amanda has completely checked out and gone elsewhere, then, like, yeah, you're watching a child having his little, like, what are those, temper tantrum. But I'm like, it's because he doesn't know how to articulate what's going on in their relationship, because all of a sudden you went from being there to not being there at all. And so I'm like, I do have a bit of a sympathy if there was an overlap between West and Amanda with Kyle, that I'm like, yeah, Kyle, you're not crazy. You're actually picking up on all of the vibes. The fact that she's up at 2 a.m. when she's never stayed up past 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on other summers. This summer, she's out till 2, 3 in the morning, ready to hang out with all the guys. I could see why Kyle's like, and I'm inside by myself, but you're down to hang out with West and Ben and everybody else, but you don't want to hang out with me. Like, if I'm up till 2 a.m. with my partner, I'm hanging out with my partner too, or being like, hey, come outside. Like, not making a choice to isolate said person. But if you don't want to fuck with them because you're with your boyfriend, I could see that.
Rebecca, what is next, do you think, for this group? What are some of the storylines, I guess, that you're most excited or anxious to be kind of discussed and talked about, and where do you think the cast goes from here?
I mean, I think I have the question that everybody has, which is like, what is the timeline? And I really, really, really hope like that the reunion gets into that and questions are answered. But I mean, I think it's really hard because I don't want what happened to Vanderpump Rules to happen to Summer House. Although I do love some of the new I think Bailey is an amazing addition. I think she's so fun. And I'm like really interested to see like what's up with her and Carl. And Lindsay can never leave my screen. Like I need her to be on reality TV for the rest of her life.
Yes.
And I hope In the City is as messy and fun as we hope it is, but I don't think it will be. But yeah, I think it's Bravo and this fandom is in a really interesting spot with like where we go from here, because like you're right, it's not as bad as Scandival objectively. We also have a very different expectation of how our reality stars exist. So like we are, and like I think with the Taylor Frankie Paul thing, like we are still drawing those lines about like what's okay and what's not, what's too dark for reality TV and what's not, and what's just fun mess.
And we definitely pick and choose. Yeah, for other people comparing it to Scandival, I would say we don't know yet. I don't think it's going to be Scandival, but I think what made Scandival so big was its longevity. like for how long it captured our attention. We were talking about it for months, it seemed like a half a year.
Which I feel like was because the season was still airing. So people were then watching closely of Raquel and Tom. And now you have the same scenario. I mean, the season's still airing.
It
now
could
people are
play out.
still-
Like, I think that's the thing is like, we don't know how big Westgate or Scamanda is going to be. It just started. I mean, I think what part of me, like I'm old enough to remember Titanic being #1 in theaters for like 20 weeks. Like, no one's ever going to match that again because it just held our attention for so long. And that's what made Scandival so big is like, we just never got sick of talking about it. And so I think we just don't know how this story is going to play out because it's still so new. And like, do we find out a PI was hired? Like, if so, that to me is crazy. Like that's I only see that in movies and TV shows. Like if that happened, I want to know every detail. How much did it cost? Who went to who? Like, what did they get? Like I do want to know if Amanda and West have a breakup and whose side we take. And if there is an arc for Amanda to like recover from this, what do you think that looks like, Rebecca?
Oh my gosh. I think it requires a lot of time and it requires a break, I would say, but I don't know if that's going to happen because we know In the City filmed in the fall, which means that it will probably air in the summer. So that's going to be another couple months of like press she probably has to do, or at least like her face is in the zeitgeist, unless like, I mean, I think a way that it could work is, as we all know, like something crazy could happen to someone else, and then we sort of all collectively forget, which is probably what will happen, because that's the way it always happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's absolutely a way that she sort of gets her reputation out. But I also think we've never really seen Amanda as the villain. Like for 10 seasons, she's always been sort of like the victim of Kyle's excesses and like Kyle's like the mismatches. Like the fans have pretty much always been on Amanda's side for the most part. And so I think she still has to navigate what that looks like for her as someone who is not really used to being put in that position.
Do you think how we feel about Amanda will be mostly dictated by what we come to find out how Sierra feels about this and whatever grace she is willing or not willing to give Amanda? Because I think also, if we're comparing it to Scandival, part of the reason why we felt so strongly is because how strongly Ariana felt. And she was like, I never want to talk to him again. He's dead to me. Like we felt and saw her anger, and I think the audience responded in kind. And I kind of feel like once we start hearing from Sierra, she will dictate the grace or lack thereof that Amanda receives. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. And I think we've seen Sierra have conflicts with people before, and it usually takes her quite a while. Like, I mean, with West, it's 2 years after their relationship last summer, their 2023 relationship. We're still watching this play out, that she's only sort of beginning to sort of see him like anew in summer 2025. And so I think with something like this, it will take so long. But obviously, we've seen her have issues with some of the women in the house and now she's friends with. So it's obviously like people evolve and people can forgive each other. But like, I think it will probably take a long time. And Sierra is not someone who's not going to like stand up for herself. It seems.
Well, for anyone who would be upset with the idea that Amanda and or West would be on Traitors, I hate to say this, but like you're going to see Jax Taylor on your TV screen sooner than later. It's going to probably be this year, almost certainly. And bring that same energy to Jax Taylor when he comes on TV, because whatever Amanda did, it was certainly nothing compared to the years of just true sinister behavior from Jax Taylor, and he will continue to get more and more chances. I want to pivot to the Bachelorette scandal, Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and all the Mormon wives. We recently found out over the weekend that Dakota is going to be edited out of Vanderpump Villa. I thought that was really interesting and important news, if for no other reason. I think that it gives us a little insight to the possibility of what the future holds for the Bachelorette franchise and Mormon wives, because they're at least they're making a decision. They're taking a stand. And on one end, I feel like you can interpret that as, all right, well, maybe Mormon Wives isn't going to come back, or maybe Taylor and Dakota won't come back. Or is it the production company and ABC kind of aligning with Taylor to say, hey, we're no longer going to allow Dakota to kind of skate through unscathed. as it regards to this scandal going on. I'm just curious, like, as someone who interviewed Taylor Frankie Paul, Rebecca, like, what are your feelings about the future of Mormon wives and Taylor Frankie Paul?
Yeah, I mean, she just posted today that she's like leaving the Mormon church, which I
Yeah.
thought was really interesting. Like we did actually, when I interviewed her, we talked a lot about God and faith and stuff. And she was like, that's the one thing in my life that's never wavered. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think she also, when I talked to her, she said she was the closest to quitting all of this than she's ever been. So I hope that the good that comes out of this maybe is that she does get a break, like a long break, maybe, from either having to like do press or shoot any TV shows. So I think that could be like a positive outcome. I've also heard rumors that they're going to air the first 6 episodes that they already kind of have in the can of Mormon Wives season 5. But also, like, you also get some of her stars, like Jessie Draper, like posting teasy TikToks with Marciano, implying that like they're together or something. Which I'm just like, damn, like you guys, like if you're not filming, like you just like choose this messy lifestyle, huh? Like,
no, it is crazy. And I was thinking about it over the weekend. Like, if you just compare Scamanda to the Mormon Wives drama, right? On one end, Mormon Wives, you have obviously the domestic situation. We all know how serious that is. Then we have the Marciano of it all, who was involved in this kind of love triangle between Jessi and Demi. Then there was these accusations of potential misconduct of Marciano. That was embedded into that storyline. Now you still have Jessi going back to that same Marciano guy. Like that, the level of scandal on Mormon Wives is so much more serious and dramatic, and yet I feel like we're talking more about Scamanda. And I just wonder if, again, it goes back to the relatability, and it's just a lot easier and maybe more fun to talk about. I don't know, because when you compare the two, there's no comparison to the heaviness of Mormon Wives compared to what's going on in the Bravo world.
Yeah, I think it's almost frustrating sometimes to watch Mormon Wives because like more drama goes down in one scene of that show than like entire seasons of like Housewives sometimes. It's like they talk about like this really dark stuff and like people sleeping with other people's like ex-husbands or baby daddies. Like this is not like, you know, dating your friend dated someone 2 years ago and now you're like maybe having a situation with him. It's like he just impregnated me and now like he's having sex with my friend. But it's, I think with Summer House, it's like these people feel like they could be I say R as in like, you know, a millennial person who like lives in New York, whatever, but like our friends. Whereas I think the draw of Mormon Wives was a little bit of voyeurism of like this culture that not a lot of us are part of or know anything about. And also the fact that it started based on like a swinging scandal among these like very, you know, lowercase c conservative Mormon people. There was like, what's going on in that one little world? Whereas Summer House, it's like, look at these like fun city gals going to the Hamptons who actually like each other for the most part and have this really sweet friendship that we're rooting for. And they deal with the same kind of guys that, you know, if you're a woman in your 20s or 30s in New York, you've definitely dated guys that are exactly like that, or maybe even seen them somewhere. Whereas I just think it's a completely different kind of entertainment. So yeah, it feels different because it's like that could happen to you, that could maybe happen to me, or like that has happened to me or something.
Do we think Jessie's doing this to like try to prove that like Mormon Wives can continue without Taylor Frankie Paul? Because like it's honestly, it seems crazy that she is. I mean, to me, it's just like we don't know what's happening with Mormon Wives. We don't know what's happening with The Bachelorette, and yet all the other Mormon wives are out there just still making content and creating drama. And I feel like many of us are sitting back here watching it being like, is this okay to do? Aren't we still like waiting to find out like what's going on with Taylor, you know, and Dakota? Is everyone okay? And yet they're out there still making content and we're just eating it up.
I just feel like Jessie's determined because I was like, we're also leaving out the making out with Chase and then sending Miranda flowers. So I'm like, on top of going for Chase at some point, then we are like, let's call back to Marciano. Why?
Oh yeah, that is one sort of theory that I have is like Jessie sort of auditioning to be the new Taylor. Like we had Whitney versus Taylor kind of being like in season 1 and 2. It's like who's going to be the leader? And now I think Jessie, who is a fascinating person to me, is sort of like occupying that spot. And I think it's going to work out for her. I do. Based on these actions, I'm like, I think you might be the leader now.
Yeah, maybe. And also,
Yeah.
like, again, back to like what I was saying before with Amanda, it doesn't make it okay. But knowing this world that these people are in, you know, again, Jesse's also someone who got out of divorce. Like, I think people in those positions often gravitate to familiar faces. Like when they are exiting a stage of their life and they feel very alone, I think it's common to just connect with people you already have some type of rapport with. Like, you know, you're the flirty guy who gives you attention. And when you add to the fact that you're a public figure and you don't know who to trust and you don't know how to date, is because we're all like sitting there being like, are there no other men? You know, are there no other people you can make out with or flirt with than other people's exes and husbands? But I think in some cases in these people's universes, it might sometimes feel like there are no other options. As crazy as that sounds, I honestly feel like that's kind of the psychology.
I don't know
that they're
how
dealing
much
with.
of a safe space Chase gave to Jessie for her to.
I don't
lean
know
on him
safe
and
space,
kiss
but
him.
there is clearly a familiar.
I also don't know how much familiarity the two of them have together, considering he is her not even like close friends, ex-husband and baby daddy.
I know it sounds crazy, but she does know him, and I don't know. I mean, it's why you see Bachelor alumni people hook up and hang out, and it's just. There's just a lot of commonality between these people, and there's often this feeling like no one understands what it's like to be in my position. And I think that's when you get these people interacting with people only with each other, and we're all wondering like, you can't find anyone else? And I think that's an element that we should at least consider playing a role in how these people are making decisions.
I also think you can blame that on the fact that dating apps are probably just so awful that everyone's like, well, even Raya sucks now. So there's not even a safe space for quasi-celebrities. So it's like you just have to pick the person that's closest to you.
Rebecca, before we let you go, you also wrote a book about what was the title? Like what we can learn about dating through Love Island? Or
Yes, it was called Be the Bombshell, what Love Island tells us about dating.
Give us a little
read
insight.
it.
Give us a little insight.
Oh my God.
That's what our show is. Honestly, I love it because like we use reality TV. We use these situations with our favorite reality TV stars to talk about our own lives, right? Like to talk about, we see ourselves in the people we talk about. I honestly think the people who criticize the most are the people who remind us of us. It's so much easier to be like, I've done that, but I've learned. I'm a better person, but fuck this person. They haven't learned yet. Like the psychology of reality TV, like that's I love it. So I think we can definitely learn a lot by watching Love Island on all the do's and don'ts of dating.
Exactly. Yeah, that was sort of like what the theme of it was. It's like because Love Island takes like random people from like random kind of sometimes nowhere towns and puts them in a villa together. And it's like they just happen to be really hot, but like they are dealing with the same stuff that everyone else is. It's like, and you watch them live in this villa that like you can't really ghost anybody because they're living in a house with you and you have to watch them interact. And you can sort of like learn from the ways they choose to and choose to not like communicate what they want from each other. And I just find Love Island to be one of the most fascinating shows of all time.
What do you hope doesn't happen in next season of Love Island compared to last season? If you're a producer on Love Island, what is one feedback you're giving the show that they must or must not do this season?
Well, this is my note for all of reality TV. I think it's gotten way too meta. I think they cast people that like know exactly, like Ace, for instance, being like, you guys like are closing off too soon. It's like, well, the show is called Love Island, so like the goal is to sort of like close off really soon and like build a relationship. And I have the same problem with TV shows where it's like you're not showing enough of your life, so therefore like you're hiding something from the cameras. It's like you don't need to sort of like have create drama just for the cameras and have that be authentic. I don't think that's any more authentic than like trying to be like a little bit like private about certain things. And I think we need to go back to the ancient texts of reality TV where it was like, this is what I want to show, but like the fun is like sort of cracking, like seeing the cracks beneath the surface. So Love Island, no more meta games, just cast fun people.
All right, Rebecca, I really appreciate taking the time. It's been a lot of fun talking with you. As the story continues and as more is revealed, we would certainly love to have you back and join us in these discussions, but we really appreciate you taking the time. Where can people follow you, enjoy all the work that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm writing for New York Magazine. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Rebecca, but I'll be covering this lovely world just as you are, and I will be following along with you as well. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming, Rebecca. I
Rebecca.
appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, up next, we have Cynthia Bailey and Miguel Luciano to talk all things Housewives. This one's for all my TV lovers. My Entertainment from DirecTV gets you 60 plus channels and Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max all in one pack. But here's the thing, with so much great TV in My Entertainment, you're going to want to talk about everything you've been watching. Just remember that your friends might not be as well watched as you. Don't be a spoiler, and encourage them to get My Entertainment for just $34.99 a month. Go to directv.com/genre packs and sign up today. New customers only. Service renews monthly unless canceled. Credit card required. Conditions apply to all apps. HBO Max basics and ads begin after DirecTV 5-day trial. Learn more at directv.com. Restrictions apply. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. There's so many stresses in life, but financial stress is one of the top ones that gets us really, really worried and freaked out and just weighs on us. And if that's something that's bothering you, maybe it's time to jump into therapy. Money problems aside, stressing about it isn't going to get you anywhere, but stressing does make your life harder and challenges your health. It also just challenges your interpersonal relationships. When you don't deal with your stress and anxiety that you have, it seeps into other aspects of your life. That's where BetterHelp comes in. Regardless of what it is you need to get off your chest, BetterHelp is helping people jump into therapy like never before. It's incredibly convenient. You literally just need a device. And it makes it so much easier to find the right therapist, which for me and for my money is the hardest part about why people avoid jumping into therapy. Because first, it's just hard to find. It can be intimidating. Do you want to ask your friends? I don't know. But what if that person isn't someone you are comfortable with? Many therapists might be great, but not great for you. But because BetterHelp is working with over 30,000 therapists, and you can switch for free anytime you want until you land on a therapist that's right for you. They make it pretty easy to find a therapist that you really, really love and that you find helpful. So whether your relationship is getting you down, money problems are stressing you out, job is not what you want it to be, try to get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Just go to BetterHelp.com, answer a few questions about the things that are weighing you down, and they will set you up with a mental health professional in no time. You could be jumping into your therapy journey in less than a day simply by going to BetterHelp.com and answering just a few questions. What do you have to lose? You certainly have a lot to gain, so give it a try if you've ever thought about it. When life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at BetterHelp.com/VIALL. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/VIALL.
Stop putting a Band-Aid on your skin issues. Get to the root cause with ClearStem. ClearStem is the first clinically tested skincare line made with 0 pore clogging ingredients. That's their Clear Pore promise. No more choosing between acne care that dries you out and anti-aging products that clog your pores. This is the product that I keep recommending to all my friends. This is a product that I also found when I was pregnant with River, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need something that's like not going to break me out and that's safe and that I can trust. And I found ClearStem and I have never looked back. I've used their products while pregnant, while not pregnant. When I think of ClearStem, I think of skincare that protects me from acne and aging at the same time. I really love the Clarity Serum. That is a product that I even told like my facialist about, and she was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. So there's just so many products that are trusted by so many smart and knowledgeable people. Clear is more than skin deep. ClearStem's TikTok viral bestseller, Mind Body Skin, targets hormonal acne at the root without the harsh side effects. Discover the ClearStem difference because clear skin changes everything. Go to clearstem.com/VIALL and use code VIALL at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's CLEARSTEM.com/VIALL and code VIALL for 15% off.
All right, well, it's time to dive into all things Housewives. And to do that, we have the iconic Cynthia Bailey with us, as well as Miguel Luciano, your favorite Housewives impersonator. All right, well, let's kick things off with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Cynthia, you kicked things off literally with the show. I mean, you had this iconic opener,
like flipping through the
channels,
and then you turned around and what did you say? You're like, now let's get to the real tea or something.
I said one of my favorite things to say. Now what else is going on?
Now what
Atlanta State. Now what else the hell is going on? We are back with the bang.
It was iconic.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
We have a new season upon us. We always like to ask, like, what can we expect from this season? What will be different about this season from last ones? And what can we look most forward to?
that will be different about season 17, spicy season 17, is the fact that we have 2 new housewives. We got K. Michelle, who is hilarious. I can't wait for you guys to get into her story. And we also have Pinky Cole, who is also a great addition to the cast and funny as well. She brings a lot to the table as well. So we got 2 strong new housewives.
Okay.
That's number 1. And then we got, Phaedra, we got Portia, we got Shamia back, we got Kelly, and of course we have Drew Sidora, and Angela Oakley. And to round it all out, the creator of the Friend Contract, we got Cynthia Denise Cheekbones Bailey.
Yeah.
Cheekbones,
good.
Bailey.
Perfect TV.
Has Portia recovered from her early Traders exit? Is that something that...
Ooh, I hope so. And I actually want, as a huge fan of Traders, someone who is anxiously waiting for my phone call from Traders, I feel like Portia needs a do-over. She wasn't there long enough. She was not there long enough. I was rooting for her, but, it was very short-lived. So I know that Portia had a lot more to bring to Traders, and hopefully she'll get to spin the block.
Well, going to that dinner that Portia threw, who was Drew on the phone with the whole time, and why was he on FaceTime for the entire dinner?
Well, Drew was on the phone with her special friend, Black. And he was not able to make it. My guy wasn't able to make it either. He was actually in Amsterdam. I'm not sure what part of the world Drew's man was in, but he was kind enough to zoom in.
Oh, thank God.
And sit through the entire dinner with us for 3 hours with a big smile on his face. So I was like, you know what? He's a real one for that. I mean, I was there in person, and 3 hours is a long time to be sitting with these women. But on a Zoom, it was a lot.
Why?
He wasn't able to make it. So that was, listen, all I can tell you is we were told that he was not able to be there in person. So he graciously joined us via Zoom.
Okay.
Was he present the whole time, or was he like multitasking? Was he?
No, he sat there and smiled the whole time.
He was there the whole time. But he may have still been there when I left in person.
That's crazy.
With that big old chain on.
Yeah.
He had a huge chain on. It looked like Flavor Flav. I was like, what? I think she should have brought a friend, like a best friend, like a human person in the flesh. A neighbor. I think a neighbor would have been good, but no?
Yeah, again, if you're out of the country, that's one thing. If you just can't make it, then maybe a human would have been like
a human would have been nice.
Human
She's got to have a neighbor.
Would have been Drew's a beautiful girl. I'm sure she has lots of
that's for
options,
sure.
but for whatever reason, she chose the Zoom. I love a good Zoom, but it was it was hilarious.
I love
actually.
a good Zoom. It gave me Who Wants to Be a Millionaire vibes. Like, phone a friend. I'm going to phone a friend for 3 hours if you don't mind. Zoom a friend.
So now I'm thinking, like, was she using him as a distraction where it's like if I'm in the middle of a conversation, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, what did you say?
That's a good point. Yeah, like she could always have to patch it away. I'm losing reception. I got to go back to the phone call.
What did you think of Portia's timeline with Simon and when she met Mike? Like,
Oh, okay. Here we go. We're getting messy. Okay. Well, what did I think about her timeline? I actually didn't think that much about the timeline until the other ladies brought it up. And then I started thinking is there? I don't remember. Well, I never met Mike until that night. So I don't know what the timeline actually is. All I know is I've never seen him before until that dinner. So I don't think there was any crossover, but that's between Portia, Mike, and God, and the ghost of Simon, I guess. Whatever. So,
who of your castmates do you think is going to catch the most heat this season? Who of your castmates is a little nervous about this season kind of airing?
Wow. Okay, so we just wrapped episode 1. We have a few more to go. We have trips to go on. A lot happens throughout the season. So, Drew has a lot of back and forth. Shamia has self-proclaimed that she is in her villain era this season. So she has a lot of back and forth this season. I think for the most part, Drew and Shamia had the most, if you want to call it heat, like they had a lot going on this season just in terms of conflict and drama.
Is there anyone of those two who you think might catch the most heat? Is there either one that you feel like the audience or fans might unfairly criticize, where you maybe understand their point of view where the audience won't, if that makes sense?
I think that the audience will definitely have a lot to say. I don't know. I kind of feel like Shamia definitely kind of came in the hottest, but again, she's owning it. It is what it is. That's just where she is in her life, and that's just how she wanted to navigate the season. And I think she's going to, have to explain, some of her choices and some of her decisions for sure.
Sierra, do you have any questions for Cynthia about Atlanta coming up this season?
Shamia and Portia, I hate to see it where it's at. Are we going to get some resolve, or more down to the bottom of what's going on there? A repair of that friendship, perhaps?
Okay, so the friendship between Portia and Shamia, or the lack thereof, it's a hard one to watch, for me. Again, as someone, like, I love, I'm a friend to the show, so I really strive to be in a good place with all of the ladies. And, I've had ups and downs with my own friendships on the show. And I will say, you guys will definitely have a front row seat to how they navigate this. I will say it starts off kind of good, and then it gets bad, and then it gets really, 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 really bad. So I don't want to spoil anything, but, I think for me, what I would have liked to have seen is them get in just a cordial, respectful place. Sometimes friendships, I hate to see friendships end, but at the same time, I don't applaud being in a relationship that no longer serves the people anymore, or could be toxic or whatever. So sometimes you have to move on. And even outside of the show, if you, this is a friend circle, but it's also a working circle as well. So even outside of the show, if you're working a regular job and you fall out with one of your co-employees, you still got to see them in the break room heating up their food in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? So we still have to be able to coexist. And I've been able to do that with my ups and downs. It's not fun. It's not comfortable having to hang out with people that you're not in a good place with. But I think they can get to a respectful place at some point. But it's going to take a minute. And you guys will see that
play
play out
in this season.
Okay.
It's going to take a lot of episodes.
Well, we will be watching them all. Before we let you go, Cynthia, I am curious, as someone who's got your own cast to deal with and your busy life, do you have any time to follow this summer house drama that's unfolding in the Bravoverse, or are you just fully immersed in Atlanta?
Well, I am busy. However, I cannot miss, every time I turn on my phone, I see something about what went down with the whole summer house thing. And I think that, like, I don't believe in, like, it is what it is. People are people. They're going to do what they're going to do. And you just never know how things work out when you're on a reality show. But of course, I felt really bad for Sierra. I felt really, really bad for her. I hadn't followed her relationship with this guy or anything like that, but it seems like just the whole way it went down just seemed really foul, like a betrayal. And it seems like she was really cool with the girl. Her name is Amanda, right?
Yeah.
She was really cool with her, and I don't know. It just I feel bad for her, because it feels like, and I don't follow the show like religiously or anything like that, but it does feel like, Sierra still has feelings for this man. So that really, really sucks.
Yeah, I think she got played by a lot of people she thought she could trust. So,
well, to wrap it up in a nutshell, thank you, Nick, for just putting everything I said in a nutshell. Like,
Putting it plainly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and nobody wants to get played.
No,
Nobody wants to be played with,
Yeah.
nor do they want to get played. But it was hard to kind of like unpack that. I was like, dang, that's messed up. It's like messed up for like to find out that he's with someone else, and then to find out he's with her. So it was like a double.
How would you think the castmates of Atlanta would handle a scandal like this?
Has there not been one? Let me think. It's like, this is Atlanta, baby.
Yeah. This is
I think we've handled
way
everything
worse.
on Atlanta.
She said face to face.
I think Atlanta would handle it. It would definitely get handled. I think one of the things that I think one of the reasons why everyone's excited for Atlanta to be back is because there's all the different franchises, but there's just the bar that Atlanta has where things happen on Atlanta that just don't happen on the other franchises. It's just a different beast. It just always has been, which is why Atlanta was on top for so long, and we're on our way back. Thank you very much.
That's
but
right.
Atlanta's like, what you got? Bring it. You know what I mean? It's just it's a different culture. It's just a different breed, and there's nothing that Atlanta can't handle. It's gonna get handled in Atlanta for sure.
Give us
That's right.
one word to describe K. Michelle and Pinky Cole in this season.
Ooh, K. Michelle, authentic.
Okay.
What you see is what you get. And Pinky, feisty. Like she's here. She's like, she got a lot to say. She's very feisty. She definitely inserts herself. She is smart. She is funny. She's feisty. I gave her a little nickname, but I'm not going to give that away. You guys will see that coming up on other episodes. Yeah, I had to give her a little nickname. Pinky. You guys will see. So feisty and authentic. Kay is who she is. I don't think one of the things I love about Kay is I felt like she didn't really force herself on us in any way. Like, she just kind of slowly, you just like she was actually the one that it took the longest for me to get to know, because she didn't come in hot at all. And she's had a lot of experience on reality TV, but she really navigated this particular space in a way that just felt very natural and very organic. And, she's great.
What did you think about Kay already walking off at her first dinner?
Well, I love a good walk off. But normally, you got to come back and we have to finish the scene. However, it was good timing because it was kind of toward the end of the scene and we were like getting ready to wrap it up. But I think Kay is, she's made no secret. She's a fan of the show. She, she knows how to navigate this space. And I think, Kay Michelle is just somebody who's going to just do whatever she wants to do. And again, authentic. Like, Angela tried to go get her, but that didn't work out. We ended up just all going outside with the guys. So.
Yeah, you guys all just followed her. Do you think she'll walk out more? Do you think that'll be authentic to her?
Oh, Kay's gonna do a lot more than walk off the seson. She's gonna be
Thank God.
Yeah, she's gonna be doing a lot of things for sure.
Okay.
I have to say, I love her.
I love
her. I want 14 of them. Like, I love K. Michelle. I think she's a great addition to the show. And by the way, Cynthia, when you were talking about that Atlanta's always been that girl, it's true. You guys, I think, consistently have the most interpersonal, like, dynamic relationships. Most of the women have really strong personal narratives. There's always comedy and drama, which some shows don't have.
Yes.
But you guys are always, like, I actually laughed out loud this morning watching the episode, which I haven't done in most of the recent franchises, to be really honest.
Yeah.
I laughed
No,
my
it's
ass
true.
off.
It's true. Atlanta's different. Like, I've had an opportunity to shoot with some of the other franchises, like Beverly Hills, and it's like, I'm like, oh my God,
The vibe is different. Yeah.
Like their drama is so small compared to the stuff that happens on Atlanta. Like, Atlanta is just, I mean, it'd be a dream to go and fight about some of the stuff some of the other people fight about, because it's just not that, it just don't hit as hard. Like, Atlanta is, Atlanta goes for the jugular.
The real deal.
It's like, it's tough. Atlanta's not easy. Everyone's not built for Atlanta, which is why it's kind of nice for me to be a friend this season, because, I've been on Atlanta for over a decade, but as a friend, this season, it's, I do catch a couple of strays. Like, I tried to stay out of it, but I definitely caught a couple of strays, and I had to get activated a couple of times as well. I was even like, wait, I thought the friends were off limits. What's happening? But in Atlanta, they're like, you're over here. You can get the smoke as well.
50 cents out.
Yes. Yeah, I got a little smoke, and I also gave a little smoke. So, again, I'm excited. I'm just excited to see this new cast. And I think that, I went online this morning. Seems like the fans are excited. It just feels like something a little new, a little different, and almost like a breath of fresh air. So I'm just really happy that I had a front row seat. And I can't wait for you guys.
It's already topping the charts on Peacock. I think it's number 2 right now, and that's after last night's premiere on Bravo. So people are definitely enjoying it already. Cynthia, appreciate you taking the time and giving us some insight on what we can expect for next season. Please let my audience know where they can follow you. Obviously, you have Humble Brag with Crystal Minkoff every week.
Yes.
Be sure to tune into that. And where else can they find you, Cynthia?
Oh, I got a lot going on. But right now my focus is, the new season. We want to make sure that we let you guys know Atlanta's back on top, and it's going to be a fun and entertaining season. And of course, Humble Brag is where my heart is with my girl, Crystal Minkoff. And I got a movie coming out, but I'll talk to you guys more about that. I got a Lifetime movie coming out this year. And, I'm
Are you
good to
acting,
celebrate
producing, directing, all of the above?
I'm doing it all.
All right.
I'm doing it all. And you guys got a chance to see my guy, Amsterdam. They showed a little shot of Amsterdam on the first episode.
That's right.
No one, you see him in real life with me, but he pops in a little bit this season with me.
Okay.
So.
All right, Cynthia. Well, you have to get going. You're busy. We appreciate you taking the time. It's always great to talk with you.
All right. Love you guys.
I love you back.
Love you.
Bye,
Bye.
Cynthia.
Bye, Cynthia.
Well, Atlanta seems like it's going to be messy as usual.
It's so good. For episode 1, like every minute was just give me more of it.
A perfect premiere episode, if you will.
Amen.
It felt like the situationship Olympics of Atlanta, and it was beautiful. for it all to be in Simon's home.
And the ghost of Simon permeating throughout the home was amazing.
The ghost of Simon, Mike telling everyone, thank you for coming.
Oh my God, so good. But K. Michelle really, to me, was the standout.
Oh, she's incredible.
What a woman K. Michelle is. And I don't know the lore of K. Michelle.
I don't
found out
either.
just a little bit that apparently she was that girl on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh.
Okay.
Her sit down with Portia on the couch where I was like, I'm just meeting you, and somehow we've already gone through like elements of vulnerability to like humor.
Talking about
Absolutely.
baggage with like other women in Atlanta, I was like, she came ready to play.
Locked
And
in.
I think the fourth wall. She was
Yeah.
like looking into the camera like, and I was like, okay, Michael
Queen.
Scott up in this bitch.
I think she might rip Drew Sidor to shreds accidentally though, and I
think we need that. I like Drew. I have no problem with Drew, but I think K. Michelle slaying a dragon is kind of the thing right now.
Yeah. And then Pinky, that's a diva after my own heart. I love her so much.
I don't have a read on her yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I get the vibe. I see what's going on here. I don't have a personal connection to her yet, but I do think we're on the right track.
I'm curious what you guys think about it. I feel like what works for me for both of them as additions at the same time is they're both like, I say this as the utmost compliment, in the same way that like Kathy Hilton is like your oddball. They kind of brought in 2 seemingly oddballs into the cast, and I think it like shakes it up a lot, and they're a little bit more like, I don't know, like weird.
Well,
I don't
Pinky's
know.
Quirky.
Quirky.
Yeah,
Quirky is the right
I think the word you're looking for is quirky. Yeah, Pinky's definitely quirky.
Mm-hmm.
And K. Michelle's not quirky, but she's whimsical. There's like a whimsy to her where she's kind of like, oh, well, okay. Like there's like a funny sort of vibe to her.
She has an aura about her that you've never seen before and is not going to be replicated.
Completely.
There you
Yes.
go.
She does bring a certain vibe to the function, which I think Atlanta could definitely use a little bit of whatever K. Michelle is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm interested in, like, I'm happy that Angela came back. I didn't want to ask Cynthia because I didn't want to put her in a weird spot, but I was just like, watching Angela and Charles this first episode for me was kind of like, may this love never find me.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, but I'm just like, I'm very interested to see their dynamic grow, because last season it was kind of the same thing too, but it's like anytime she tries to be like cutesy with him or being like, yeah, you wanted to take me home the first week, he goes, no, I didn't. And I'm like, girl, can you just play along?
I think. Well, you saw K Michelle and Charles Bond because K Michelle was like,
He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
he's
I
an
love
asshole,
assholes.
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I get Charles Oakley. I think he's like Todd. You know what?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like the
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like curmudgeon-y guy that I'm like, she loves him.
She's into
She
it.
does.
She likes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if he all of a sudden changed, she'd be like, "Fuck this."
Like, why are
she-
you being nice to me?
Yeah. She likes that kind of.
You have to
like,
understand
funny sense
the
of humor.
lore of Charles Oakley. He was like the enforcer in the 90s
Yeah.
in the NBA when the NBA was like a different game. He was like the bad boy of the NBA.
I think he's still the bad boy of Atlanta because he.
Well, yeah, but like the fact that he's not like showing up, like, let's do a scene, he's reluctantly,
Yeah.
begrudgingly there because he loves his woman and she wants to be a housewife. And he's like, I guess, fine.
Yep, they were
Yeah.
in that first scene, like when it was just the two of them, she's like, touch my booty. And he was like, no. And I was just like, why?
Well, it's just funny watching this man who's like probably screamed at Dennis fucking Rodman on the court before. Like, get a little uncomfy being intimate with his wife on camera.
Bad boy can't show love.
I think that's what it is. That he's kind of like, I'm not gonna like get all like bricked up right now in front of the camera. Like, that's what I think it is. I mean,
I want to see it. I need to see it. I need
Look,
to see one moment that
you
I'm
wanna
like,
see
Angela,
horny
I get
Charles?
it.
You wanna see
I need
horny
to.
Charles
At this
Oakley?
point, I need to.
I mean, I'm obsessed with Angela Oakley, by the way.
Yeah,
she's
I think
perfect.
RHOA is Real Housewives orbiting Angela.
Oh.
Like that, I told her that at BravoCon. I'm like that. She needs to be the center peach. The world needs to revolve around her. Like I'm a huge Angela Oakley fan. And I'm working
she's
on
my favorite.
impersonations of Angela and Charles.
Angela's definitely my favorite.
Right?
I mean, outside of Cynthia.
She's so good.
But like, I just find
Well,
Of course.
Yeah, but Cynthia's OG, icon, legendary in her own category. So I get what you're saying.
Angela does feel like a new edition housewife who feels like she's been on the show for years.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and I think that happens when you're of a certain age,
Mm-hmm.
and which I prefer. Like that's my problem with Rhode Island, which we'll get to in a second. They all feel like they're in their 30s, and that's very hard for me.
Really? You're not fucking with Rhode Island?
I like Rhode Island. I just think there's too many young girls for my personal taste. Like I like a woman has a little bit more of a life. These girls, most of them are super young. They're like 3 or 4 girls that are in their 30s, or they
Right.
look like it and they act like it. So it's like I like women on the show that are a little bit more, like the Angelas, right? The K Michelle is a little younger, but that's why my favorite on Rhode Island is Liz.
Yeah, I was
Because I'm
gonna
like,
say.
okay, Liz
Yeah.
is like what we're talking about. This is a character.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We already have a polyamorous relationship going on in Rhode Island.
I thought-
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I thought, okay, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with some butter. But I liked Rhode Island. You know what I will tell you about Rhode Island that I did enjoy is that everyone has a very full life.
Yeah.
That I did like. Everyone has a full life, and there's we could probably unfold lots of things with all of these women. I didn't find Rhode Island very funny, which was, I kind of was like, okay, I didn't laugh that much, which is a bummer for me.
It's just
But that
one
doesn't mean I wasn't
episode.
entertained.
Yeah.
I know, but okay, so are you being paid by Rhode Island? Nick?
Yeah.
Well, one of my dearest friends,
No.
Ashley Iaconetti, is a housewife. So I do want to see it
So you've
do
got
well.
stock. I get it. No, I think the show is great. I guess also here's the problem too, is that I saw it 3 days after everyone talked about it. So the hype was like, it is incredible. It's amazing. So I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Like, let's see this. And I was hoping to just laugh more. And I just didn't. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I think that halfway through the season, I'm going to be really invested because all of these relationships are going to really peel back the layers. And we're going to be like, okay, there's all that they are there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just wondering, knowing Ashley and Jared, how they're going to navigate. Like, if things really take off and it gets messy, and I don't know which women have what storylines, but I just know Ashley and Jared are just like some of the most loveliest, nicest, normal, and the best possible way type of people. So I am just, as a friend and fan, fascinated with how they will immerse themselves into Bravo lore. Jared's just like one of the nicest, kindest people, period. And now he's like a house husband in a group of, like when we're used to talking about like some of the guys in Orange County, where it's just like some of the husbands are like, outside of Terry DeBro, who's a king, and I love him.
And Eddie.
Oh, Eddie, yeah.
I'm an Eddie fan.
Yeah,
Eddie.
I've met Eddie. He's lovely. I don't know too much about Eddie. Like,
Have you seen my Eddie impersonation?
No,
No, please.
Nick, are you ready for my Eddie smile?
please. That's pretty good.
So good. Yeah, that's him.
Excellent.
That's my opinion. But you see, your friend Jared seems almost like he would be on Summer House or on like a show with young people. That's why I think it threw me off, because I was like, all of these people are so young and sort of almost like they seem like a very normal couple. She's like a normal girl that like fell into like housewife dumb almost. So I'm not saying I don't like it. It's an adjustment.
Her ripping her nails off, sitting at the coffee shop talking to Jared. I was like, bitch, that is
I
so
loved
me.
that.
You love that?
I loved that because I'm like, as someone who, if I paint my nails or if I have press-ons on, they're coming off anywhere if I feel it in the moment, especially if like, I can imagine her in that moment, like filming a scene and then it's like they're talking about their personal life and she's like anxious about it. And so she's just peeling her nails off and now that's on camera.
It was definitely authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she brought Duncan. I'm like, that is a real one. I've never been like, yeah, that's like one of my girls on Housewives necessarily, which I think is fun. It's interesting.
So you don't mind a housewife that feels very real and relatable to you?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think usually I'm watching Housewives as I'm like these divas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're the older women. They're like my moms, my like aunts, whatever. And now I see I'm like, oh, that's my sister. You know what I mean? Which is usually how I feel like watching like a Summer House. But it's fun to be like, oh, I guess it's like, let me see what like like someone like my sister could do to these older, like to these women, and it's really interesting. But
I'm excited to see what the 30, 40 somethings do, because I think like we see in Summer House, like that's a time in your life that people talk about midlife crises and things like that, right? Where you're not your 20s anymore, where you have like the freedom to fuck around and find out, or you're not like later in life where you've calmed down a little bit, you have that perspective. You know, that 30s and 40s is when you like, maybe your marriage does slow down, you lose connections with your partner. Maybe the sex is gone out of your relationship, but you still want to keep that relationship going. So you maybe dabble in, non-traditional marriages and things like that, where, you're still young enough to crave the drama, but you're too old to be a part of the drama anymore. And I feel like that's what you're kind of getting from like, that's what makes this scandal, I think, so compelling, because we're ultimately talking about adults who should know better. And I think when we watch her from that lens and they're really messy and they're kind of operating like they just got out of college, to me, that's some of the best reality TV. Like that's why we love Mormon Wives, because you have these seemingly adult women, and granted they're like in their kind of mid 20s, but they're like living a lifestyle of more mature adult, right? Like they're not doing the Summer House, go to the Hamptons and party on the weekend and DJ. They're slowing down, they're settling down. And yet there's that part of them that doesn't want to slow down and they still want to be messy and go out. And I think that's where you get some of the best reality TV. So I like that it's younger on Rhode Island, because again, like you have the Orange County and you have the Beverly Hills Housewives franchise to have more like less drama, more just like, it's, oh, you turn on Beverly Hills, you get to see Rodeo Drive and it's nostalgic and things like that, Like I need to unpack a throuple relationship.
No, I definitely need to unpack a throuple. I'm in total agreement with the storylines. I'm into what's gonna come down. I'm into that. And I'm ready for it. I am. I don't want you to think I'm not on board. It's just, it took me a second to go, okay. But I'm into it. I saw it and I had my eyes open the entire time. It was one of those like, okay.
And I think there's like a nice range that I'm interested to see how it all comes together, because I'm like, you've got Ashley, who kind of seems like very like genuine and just like wants to like make friends and figure out her footing in Rhode Island. And then you've got someone like Rosie, who's like literally saying in her interviews, like, I'm lying straight to her face because that's what we do in Rhode Island. Like, you know what I mean? Like, clearly, like, we just watched her start a bunch of shit. And I'm just like, it's going to be interesting seeing, like, these types of people all come together, because I don't feel like this is, like, a very strong group of friends. I feel like it's more casting.
Well, I mean, I feel like they actually... I get what you're saying, but I think the good thing is that they all know each other, or they know each other's lore.
They know of each other, exactly.
Because it's so small.
Yes, and if they don't know the person, they know their best friend, or they dated the person from the tanning salon. Like that I did enjoy a lot. Yeah. Was that they all have like connections that are deep and personal, which I think is going to help the show a lot because even if I'm not that close with you, you're super close to my cousin.
Yeah.
So if you say something, it just changes the dynamic of like what I think your perspective of me is,
Yeah.
what my perspective of you is based off of the fact that your brother dated my neighbor or whatever. So I think that's the strongest aspect of Rhode Island right now is that they really go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may wax poetic about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island for just 1 second, I do think it does have the potential to be, if Salt Lake City is like the true crime, prestige Bravo series, then the Real Housewives of Rhode Island is Grey Gardens in the way that, like, if you guys have ever seen Grey Gardens, it's that like generational divide with like Edie and little Edie, and they're all so weird because they're from this small place.
Yeah.
And then you have Ashley, who's kind of like that outside figure of like watching it all go down. And I think it's like a very smartly put together show that if they like strike that, like the whimsy of like Kama show that you were bringing up, like that's Liz.
Well,
Like,
Liz
if they
is
let
Liz is
that in.
amazing. I need Liz in every scene that they ever do forever. Like I'm a huge fan
The
of
queen
Liz.
of weed,
Yeah.
Liz.
No, we
The
need
queen of weed. Yeah.
Liz and Dolores.
Oh my God.
The two
beyond.
twins.
And I really like I really like Liz and I really like Alicia. Alicia's the one with the that we saw in the first episode.
Pizza
right?
Mama.
Pizza Mama. I like her a lot. I think
Yeah.
she's really great and really there's a lot that I'm really into it. I like them all, but those are the two that I guess when I look at it from a comedic standpoint, because that's really why I watch it.
Yeah.
Those are the two that are inspiring me the most
Yeah.
to like
We're gonna see
bring
two
them
new
to life.
characters.
Yeah, exactly. Liz, I'm already where she's got a little bit of the eyes, which I really like. The queen of weed. I don't know. There's a there with Liz, and I'm like, okay, all right, mama.
My biggest question for Beverly Hills this episode was, did Dorit pay for that photo shoot?
I
Her
mean,
book
well,
cover.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that they all want to know.
But here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
It's unclear because you would think maybe the book company or her book deal, but I don't think the book paid for that photo shoot because a little bit I know about like celebrity book deals, there's not a ton of money in it. It's more of a branding thing. And according to Dorit, while she gave her confessional, she hasn't even like finished writing the book. And usually like I did a photo shoot for my book. Like I paid the photographer to do it. Like there might have been a really small budget, if any budget
But that
at
was
all.
a huge
That was a
set.
huge production that she had.
There was like crafties in the corner.
Yeah. And I honestly wonder if she hired her, like she put on her own photo shoot and spent that money, or did Bravo pay for it because they filmed it and had other cast members there? Because that was easily like a $15,000, $20,000 production.
One of two things. One, I think she did pay for that. Sibel is a really well-known photographer. She's the one that did the like Megan Fox photos in the trees looking like a fairy. Like she's got a very specific style. She's shot a lot of my friends. I'm like, she's expensive and I don't think Bravo's paying for that. Also, I know that because I am listening to Lisa Rinna's book, and she spills a lot of tea, and she says like a lot of shit is not covered by Bravo. Yeah. There's no world in which Bravo is going to be down to pay for a $10,000-$15,000 photo shoot for her book that they're not getting.
But isn't that? I mean, we've talked so much about Dorit's spending and her subsequent divorce that she's going through, and I'm watching this photo shoot where it's clear like she spent all this money on something that like she didn't need to do for the cover of her book. And like her
Has the book come out? Do we know?
I think the book has come out. Yeah.
No, I don't think it has.
It hasn't come out yet?
I thought the photo shoot looked great. Whether she paid for it or not, I thought what we ended up seeing looks great.
Yeah. Let's say so. I think she thinks she's going to make it back anyways, but I'm also like, that's where Kyle being concerned or whatever, is that she did spend some of her advance on a Kelly bag, which Hermes.
It's coming out tomorrow.
It's coming out tomorrow.
It's coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
Unburdened.
Okay.
Unburdened.
So
by Dorit
to answer your question, Nick, my personal opinion is I think that she probably paid for it out of pocket. And I think that maybe there was some negotiation, like it's exposure, maybe not that Sibel needs it, but it doesn't hurt to be on an international TV show.
Even if she got the photographer to do it for free, she still spent $20,000.
There were so many assistants and like people there.
Yeah, I mean, Dorit is a fascinating woman to me. I will never understand like a lot of the things that she does, but I'm obsessed with watching her recently. So I kind of am like, keep doing everything you're doing. I want to see it all. Like I am really, Dorit took a while. It took a while for me to get on the Dorit train. but I am on and I really don't want to get off. I'm okay if, and I know that that's kind of a minority opinion. Like, I think a lot of people are not enjoying her.
Oh, I love
this season.
love
I'm loving
some
me some Dorit. What are you thinking, Nick and Natalie?
I mean, up until this episode where she went absolutely delusional and lost me, and I could not side with her, not even in like the slightest bit.
On what?
This dinner where she walked out on the last dinner in
Made Erica cry.
Italy.
Yeah. That was hard to watch, for sure.
I mean, how are you going to look at your friend and be like, you're going through a fuck ton? Like, you're going to question Erica Jane is going through a lot? Real? And it's like, she doesn't talk to me about it. It's like, clearly, and Kyle's point of being like, but you read the news. Like, you've seen the headlines. You know what's going on in her life. And like, just because she doesn't come to you and talk about it doesn't mean it's not going on in her life. Like Erica being like, I talked to my therapist about it, which is like the healthiest way to go about dealing with this type of stuff. And Dorit's like, I don't believe that you're going through a lot, was absolutely bonkers to me.
It was a weird take for sure, but it was. I agree with that. Like, watching it, I was like, Dorit is not thinking clearly in this moment, is what I said to myself. I was like, she's not seeing herself clearly. She can't actually understand how she's coming across, and she's in such a weird survival mode that she doesn't care. Like she said, I don't care. And like, I don't agree with what she did, especially because we've seen Erica straight up be a real friend to Dorit for many years. I mean, the Fox Force 5 was like impenetrable. They could do no wrong and they all had each other's back. And now they're all eating their own, right? But the reason why I guess I find the fight so interesting and not as much like I'm just Team Erica on this, I'm team both of them, is because Dorit, I think, really cannot see herself, which makes it fascinating for me. I'm like, wow, you really are not getting how you're coming across right now. She's seeing it as, fuck it, I'm self-preserving. I've been taking shit for years and I'm done. And it's not reading that way to anyone.
I also kind of feel like that dinner, though, was like one thing after another. And to be in like Dorit's shoes, or putting myself in that place, right? Like, it's like, we're all fighting about coming up with one thing, then it's about being late all of a sudden. And then I'm just kind of like, first it's between her and Kyle, and about the friendships and the fact that Kyle is going around talking to everyone to solidify a singular opinion on Dorit's behavior, but not talking to Dorit about it. I think she has a fair point there. But then when all of a sudden it came to Erica being like, well, everyone's pissed at you because you're late. I'm like, okay, now this fight has shifted from different person to different person on a completely different topic. So like, I too would probably feel very defensive and be like, yeah, nobody has my back here clearly besides this person, because now everybody's all of a sudden saying that the whole table is talking about you behind your back. Yeah. None of these people are your friend. Everybody's mad at you, but nobody has the balls to say it to your face. And I'm like, I think that's a lot of information to process when you're trying to deal with one situation, and then it gets pivoted to your other friend, who then is now taking something offensively that I think Dorit said flippantly. I don't think she was trying to like narrow out the fact that Erica hadn't been there for her as a friend, but I think the conversation was Bose talking most of the time. So I just kind of feel like I think it was a lot of misguided anger, where I'm like, if this conversation had ended and then we moved on to this conversation later on, I think that wouldn't have escalated the way that it did.
Yeah. The only thing I will add to that is that I have learned through watching these shows and being in the atmosphere and the world that every fight is about the show. Like, it's never about anything else other than the show. So things that seem like there's tension between the friendship, it's not. It's about a show. It's a show-related problem. And Beverly Hills is the one show that I find has the most secrets and masks. So the tension that was happening at that scene was not about, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, was not about Dorit being late, was not about any of that. They've got their own cracks in the friendships we'll never know because they're never going to talk about it. Kyle has a life she does not talk about on the show. Right. That's it. Their friendship and their alliance and how their alliance is and the things that they've kept. Like when Dorit said, I could bring her down, or I could end her life, or I could blow it up. I think the phrasing was, I could blow it up. They have so much going on that they don't talk about on the show. Yeah. So the fights we're watching and the tension, we're seeing real tension, but the fights are not what the tension's about. Yeah. So all of this is pointless in my mind. I'm watching the scene thinking, I wonder what they're really fucking fighting about. I wonder what they're really upset about, because it's not about this, and it's not about that, and it's not about that. Yeah. They have issues that go far longer and deeper than this shit, and that's why you're seeing Erica cry, and Kyle getting so worked up, and Dorit being like, fuck this and fuck you guys. It's not about the late, and it's not about the kids. That's my opinion.
Well, we did hear Dorit tell Erica, like, when I told you that you needed to bring it and have more material, I didn't mean to be a and that was her being like, you needed to bring more to the show, and it didn't mean being mean to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, see, it's always about the show. Their issues are always about the show. And Kyle and Dorit, as I've said famously on this show, they do not like each other. They have never liked each other. Kyle does not like Dorit, and Dorit does not like Kyle, and they have never liked each other.
You don't think they ever have?
I don't think, in my personal opinion, they have ever liked each other. I think they were in Beverly Hills, and everyone says, "Oh my God, you look gorgeous! Oh my God, great, come over," and they just were playing nice for thousands of years. They do not like each other. Dorit and Erica, I actually think like each other.
From Dorit's standpoint, I will say the fact that Kyle is still friends with PK, even through Mo, it would be to me Dorit just can't, and I get it. She can't get over that because it always, whether Kyle means it or not, it always just sounds like she's kind of taking PK's side. Even when Kyle's trying to be objective or giving Dorit some what she thinks is useful advice, it just sounds like, no, you're just taking my piece of shit ex-husband's side, and your ex-husband, who you're still best friends with, is his best mate, and she just doesn't trust anything that Kyle says, and that I totally get.
I completely agree with that. I would be really upset if I were Dorit on how Kyle handled the whole thing. And let's be clear, when she says I would never talk about anything we've ever spoken about, is obviously you've told me shit about Dorit or things you don't want anyone to know, and I won't tell you. I won't tell anyone that. But the bottom line is that Kyle has always been male-centered. If you go back and look at the seasons, if you're a real Beverly Hills fan, Kyle's, I don't know if she was raised that way or whatever it is, but she definitely has a male-centered perspective on things. She repeats very often that she's a girl's girl.
Yeah.
I'm a girl's girl. Did you know? I'll put a gun to your head. I'm a girl's girl.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's not. I do believe she's probably a really good friend to her girlfriends, but I don't think a real girl's girl would not ever, in any reality of any universe, text a meme to someone. To quote Alexia from Miami, I don't even follow Steve on Instagram. She doesn't follow Marisol's husband on Instagram. When they were talking about alliances.
She said if my grandma and my grandpa got divorced, I would unfollow my grandpa.
Yeah, Larsa Pippen is a girl's girl.
Exactly.
So Kyle doesn't have the best read on herself in this particular situation. And I like Kyle, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, baby.
Well, it's like when people call themselves loyal, it's like when it's happening to you, you always have a different version of the story or a reason why it's different.
Well, the one phrase I hate that people call themselves is when they call themselves charismatic. They're like, I've heard people do that. I'm like, that's the weirdest thing to call yourself.
I'm a big personality.
I've got a great personality. You're like, okay.
Okay.
It's getting weird, but I still gotta get this watch. Bling, bling, bitches is mad. But I want to be truthful here and say that as much as this entire season of Beverly Hills was not great, the last couple of episodes have been wildly entertaining for me. Am I right? No?
No, last night's episode was
I'm
good.
entertained.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to tell Dorit she had a hornet in her hair sitting at that table.
Oh my God.
That was wild to watch. It just slowly coming back up and then gone, and I was like, where'd it go?
You know what I think that is, though? I'm thinking about a bad breakup I had years ago. And I kind of was just in my feelings, and I felt sorry for myself, and I kind of distanced myself from my friends, and I wouldn't go out with them. And honestly, my friends kind of got sick of me, because I was always constant complaining about all the shit that was unfair or why I was the victim. And I kind of feel like that's how the rest of the cast is feeling about Dorit. They might feel sorry for her, but I feel like they're kind of tired of her feeling sorry for herself and sending herself as a victim in this situation. And I think they're just kind of getting annoyed with her.
Yeah, and Dorit is very good at focusing on herself. She's good on that. She's good at walking in with herself being the center. And I think that's a cast of probably women that are used to also all being the center.
Yeah.
So, it's not a cast that's short of confident, self-focused women. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's a lot of wallflowers on that cast. And they're like, I'm happy to let you go. Why don't you hold the court? It's not like it's a huge,
But I will say, if you got rid of Dorit, what would Kyle's storyline be?
Yeah, she might actually have to be honest.
She didn't bring, her entire storyline this season was Dorit.
Well, and
And
poor Amanda.
When Amanda was like, well, that wasn't productive.
That wasn't productive. I also don't hate Amanda. I
hate
think
Amanda at all.
the Amanda hate is a little forced.
Yeah.
I'm into her. I think she's a great housewife. Whether, sometimes she says shit that's out of pocket and whack. I would not be talking about the fact that you make more money than your husband. I wouldn't like it if a husband said it about his wife. I just, that's kind of shit I don't like. And she does do things I do not like. But as a general rule, I don't dislike her. And I do think she's harmless. And I think she's kind of a refreshing, weird energy on the show. And I do think they don't like that she's happy. Because I do think she's actually kind of happy.
Yeah.
And I think it pisses them off because none of them are that happy right now. Kyle's not that happy.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I think Erica's working on being okay. Like she's like in therapy, she's managing herself better. She's got great reactions to things. And then Dorit is, of course, on hot coals trying to get to the cool side of every day.
Yeah.
And Bose is in whatever she's doing with Keely or whatever, who I cannot say that I trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Propositioning to not work anymore.
Yeah, I'm not into that. So I think Amanda's kind of like free and happy, and I think it also she does have an unnerving unshakability to her, which I want to shake her. I want to see her crash out, or I want to see her cry. Not cry. I don't want to see her cry. I want to see her like throw her wig off. Like I want to see her unravel a little bit.
Yeah.
I do want to see that. Like I think we've done the put together manifestation princess. I like it. I want range. I want
her to use her manifestation powers for evil.
Yeah, kind of. And I also want the Oklahoma in her to come out. She's like, we would not say that in Oklahoma. What would you say then? Show us how Oklahoma would show up at the table.
You and Taylor Armstrong go.
Yeah, come on. Like, give me something. Because I do get bored. Like, Amanda.
Take her out back and go Oklahoma.
And also, exactly. And you know what I think is also Amanda's problem, too, is that Amanda's not quirky enough. Because people would totally be into her if she were a total crazy ass.
Yeah, if she, like, bedazzled things as well.
Yes.
Or had a tooth gem.
If she was, if she was a little bonkers,
Yeah.
I think people would be like, I don't really get her, but okay. But since she reads sort of normal-ish, and she's like, absolutely. And it's like, no, wait, she could be like Whitney Rose's like cousin from Oklahoma. She's a little like wide-eyed and like, doe-eyed. So if she were a little quirkier, I think people might be more into her. But also, what I will say about Amanda too, that I think is a really interesting thing is that people do not like that she doesn't apologize for being okay and polished and peaceful. Like a lot of people would prefer you be successful and happy if they knew how hard you've worked.
Yeah.
If you apologize, or if you feel like I earned this because and she's like, no, I'm good. Period. Full
I
sentence.
manifested this for myself.
Yes,
like,
and a lot
sorry.
of people struggle with that. Like people are happy if you succeed, if they know that like, well, it wasn't always like this.
As long as you're humble,
Yes,
as long as you have.
Or if there's like a million other people to thank.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's something I will say about I'm cool with Amanda just being happy, even if there's no there there, because I don't need someone to suffer so that they can earn their joy.
Yeah.
Like earn your abundance. You don't have to have been like, I don't need you to be a first generation American and my parents, like we're taught like you have to work so hard to be happy and you have to work so hard to be joyful. And like, these are my scars to prove it. Like, you know what? Maybe she's just like, whatever she's gone through, I don't need her to justify it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people do have a hard time, not just Housewives fans, people in general. Like a lot of people are haters. A lot of people don't want people to do well. And they'll maybe think it's okay if you've like done a lot to get it.
Yeah.
If you hear that someone just grows up in wealth, most people get pissed. I'm like, I don't. I didn't grow up wealthy. I grew up single mom, household. But if you're rich, great. Like because I'm good with me.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, but some
I'm
people,
not hating. I'm just jealous.
Yeah, right? But some people really struggle with that. So I think Amanda's like lack of apology and being like, I'm here and it is good.
No.
I'm actually cool with it. And I don't see it as bragging. I don't like what she says about her husband. I don't like some of the other shit that she says. But as a general rule, her whole stance on abundance and freedom and joy and my life looks good because it is. I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah.
All right, money queen.
All right, money queen. Yeah. I might buy her book.
Well
no, I'm
said.
buying Dorit's book because I got to pay for that photo shoot, baby.
She does have to pay for that photo shoot.
But the photo shoot.
If she did pay for that photo shoot, she definitely is bad at money. Like, I don't think
She needs to talk to Amanda.
I don't think she's ever like looked at her bank account versus the price tag and thought, not today.
Yeah, I don't, I find Dorit endlessly fascinating. So I'm like, whatever she's doing, I kind of, from just a spectator perspective, I'm like, keep doing you.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
And by the way, I think she looks amazing.
She's so hot.
She's so hot and
Yeah.
so put together and like, I am not a fan of cigarette smoke.
I
I'm not
was
a fan of
just gonna
smokers.
say.
But I'm like, Dorit with that cigarette.
Do you think they told her to light up? Be like, hey, let's get this shot.
I think
She had it in her hand the whole time. She
No,
was
I think
yellow
whoever's
talking
choice
to
it was,
Kathy.
hers or the producers or the cinematographer, whoever it was, chef's kiss.
I
Like,
think
that's
Dorit was thinking about that cigarette the whole night.
Yeah.
That's how I,
I mean,
feel.
she's stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
She is stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
So she's probably thinking about a cigarette every hour. Smokers smoke pretty often. It's not like, I have friends that when they like are going through a period of deep anxiety, they will smoke, every 30 minutes. They're going outside.
Yeah.
So,
Jesus.
I mean, think about all those people with their jewels. They're like fiends. you know.
Yeah.
So poor Dorit needs a cigarette.
You know,
And you know what, baby?
let her live her life.
She's unburdened.
She's unburdened.
But the whole Erica, I mean, I have to say, I got to say it one more time. This is working for me. This Erica, Dorit, Kyle situation as it's juicy. It's juicy.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. It's juicy.
Well, one last thing I did want to say is that this is from Justin. He's not here right now, but he did want to say that he doesn't think Beverly Hills is back. He thinks it never left.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted me to share that.
Justin is the Beverly Hills stand of all stands.
I think it takes all kinds to make the world go round. I'm cool with him being on that train. I like Justin a lot, so I'm gonna rewatch the whole season and really look at it from his perspective. On the Dorit front, she's never left for me.
Yeah.
Even though I did not like her the first couple of seasons, 100%, I can openly admit that. But now I'm good. And Erica, I have to say, this Erica is very interesting to me.
I'm locked in on it.
I'm locked in on this Erica journey. And then Kyle, unfortunately, I'm struggling. And my biggest problem with Kyle is that I don't dislike her as a person. Like, I would almost rather a show of her and her kids on her own. Like, I think she's an amazing mom. Like, her kids fucking adore her. She does seem like she's had the same sort of female friends in her life for a long time. That's always a good sign when someone has like long-time friendships, right? Yeah. So like, I kind of fuck with her as a human. And I've met her and she's really like genuine and was very nice. Yeah. But on the show, I do not believe that she is being truthful about what's happening in the relationships. The issues of the show are not being talked about for obvious reasons. The dynamics of the women and how they play into the show cannot be spoken about because then it changes the show, of course. But I don't know.
How much do you think she's getting paid at this point since she's been on since the beginning?
You know, I did hear from someone that the $1 million paycheck days are gone. Yeah. Or plus. I heard those days are gone. So I don't know. Maybe Beverly Hills seems to be exempt in a lot of ways. So maybe they're still getting paid the big bucks. Dorit should be getting a sizable check. Right. Because she's being vulnerable and almost to a fault. I mean,
well, they do work on some kind of bonus structure.
That I did hear, yeah. Yeah. You know, as a child of divorce, I was raised on like, you don't speak, like my mom never spoke badly about my dad sort of situation. So I always think when parents do that in person or on camera, I'm like, ooh, it's damning.
This lives forever.
It lives forever, yeah. So she's doing it and it's a part of her real life and it's a part of where she's at, you know. Everything we do at a life comes at a cost.
Yeah, who is the Rhode Island housewife that was like, my mom's a bad parent? And if I'm not a good parent, it's definitely my mom's fault.
Yeah. Joe Ellen.
I was like, wow.
That was wild.
It was giving Jamie Lee Curtis trauma.
It's about trauma. Yeah.
It's about generational trauma.
I was just raised so differently. Like I was an altar boy. We were Catholic. We just did not talk about our stuff to other people. Like we just didn't. And it's not out of like shame. It was just like, this is the home. Yeah. And like,
it's like you hold that in.
Yes.
Yes. You don't let other people know that.
No. Yeah. And like, it took me a long time to let friends into like, this is how I feel about my life or my thoughts on life even, you know? So when I watch people blatantly out loud say what she said about her mom, which is like, I'm worried about her being with my kids while I'm not there or something. I was like, oh.
And you said that episode 1 on camera. That's why I'm saying Joe Ellen, here to stay.
But then the mid-season or that little trailer that they showed of like her and the mom crying, I was like, okay, so this is good. Healing, talking about it out loud. The mom saying, I wasn't raised that way. I felt badly for the mom in that moment, you know? So that's why I'm saying, Nick, I don't want you to think I'm not on Rhode Island's train.
It's only been one episode. it's we have a long
No,
way.
but I'm not even
episode 2.
But I'm not even not on it. I'm on it. I'm into it. I am. It's just for different reasons. I'm into this show for narratives because everyone's bringing their own real life story, which is interesting to me. It's just in my mind different than what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more comical because everyone was like, oh my God, it's so wild. And I was like, it's not that. I mean, I guess I'm from Miami, so being in we don't call it polygamy or whatever. It's just like motherfuckers cheating. But you know what I'm saying? Or like loose versions of like, yeah, we're kind of open. We don't talk about it. I remember someone I used to know was like, my wife kind of knows I can do whatever I want, but she doesn't tell me, but she kind of says it in her own way. But she kind of just tells me, just don't come home smelling like her. Like he said some sort of version of like, we're in this relationship, but my wife tells me I can do it, but I can't talk about it and I can't smell like it and I can't have any evidence. So it's not that shocking to me to be like, we're talking about, you know? Yeah. But it's fascinating. She's talking about it on camera. The crazier part to me is that he's so wealthy and that she's talking about it. Because if there's one thing I know about wealthy families is that they do not like their dirty laundry being aired. So I do find that kind of interesting that he's part of this like prominent Rhode Island dynasty, and here she is being like, I don't work, he's got these people. Like, I'm like, okay.
I'm locked in.
Yeah. I would just love it if she were 10 years older. Just to give it 10 years older.
Don't be an ageist.
I know. I am an ageist to people my age. It is unfortunate. I really, really am. That's why I haven't seen a single episode of Summer House. I'm like, I don't need to see drunk people my age hanging out. I did that all of my 20s.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the reason I don't drink anymore. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
See, I love the interpersonal relationships of Summer House. You know, one thing it made me think about, Sierra, if you're Sierra, other Sierra.
You are so good at being Sierra, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you can't ever be friends with Amanda again. To what degree would you go out of your way to make sure your other friends are also not friends with Amanda?
I mean, I don't think it's so much about going out of my way. I think that hopefully if I have real friends, they're also like-minded, and the idea that she could do that to me just kind of shows that she's not somebody that could be trustworthy. So I would hope that my friends would make that decision for themselves.
What if they were really disappointed in Amanda, and definitely there were conversations that need to be had, but what if they, in the long run, weren't like, hey, I'm not saying I'll never be friends with you, it's just going to be weird right now?
I mean, again, that's up to my friends' decisions. I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect my mental health, and I should hope that the people that care about me the most would also want to do the same. So therefore not putting me in any situations to where I would be around these people before I'm ready to.
For sure.
But yeah, like I don't think it's something about like forcing. I just think that most like-minded people would be like, hey, I don't really fuck with somebody who could do that to a close friend. Let alone to the person that they made vows to. So yeah, like where I'm like, if this is what the situation is, if you decide to be friends with that person, that's fine. If you're constantly posting, hang out with this person on a regular after the fact, then yeah, there's going to be distance, or we will no longer probably be friends because I don't fuck with that.
I mean, I have been someone, I'm a loyalist. I think of myself as loyal, and I mean it when I say it. So like, I've definitely been someone who's been like, listen, you can fuck with them, but if you do, I just don't. And very kind of directly just kind of drawing that line. But it made me think over the weekend, when we do that, sometimes like, I feel like that's our own egos telling us that like, we don't think losing us is enough. So we want that person to be punished more. So we make sure that other people also don't hang out with them, because like the thought of losing us as a friend should be enough. But like, I think sometimes our insecurities will might make us think it's not. And then that's when we will rally other people to no longer mess with that person. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, and I could say, like, from my perspective, like, I can promise you, like, you did not give a fuck about my feelings. I do not give a fuck about yours. So I'm not sitting here going out of my way to figure out how to make your life worse. But I will say that, yeah, like, I want a safe space around me, and I want to be sure that the people that I'm talking to about what the situation is aren't the same people that are going to be calling her next weekend for drinks and perpetuating bullshit that doesn't need to be perpetuated.
Yeah.
We're just no longer friends. You don't respect me, so I no longer respect you.
For me, it feels like it's just so like it would be so organic and fluid to lose interest the second I see you with them. So it wouldn't even be like a principle of the matter. Like if I were dating someone and if I were in that situation and I saw someone hang out with that person again, it wouldn't be like a value system. My body would just go, and we're done. Thank you.
No.
We're good. Like you made it so easy for my body to release you.
Yeah.
Because it's evident where you stand.
Yeah, you showed it.
You just showed me, so we're good. I will probably still always care about you, or the version of you that I thought you were.
Yeah, I'll be sad about it
I'll be sad about it sometimes, but I'm good. Like I can be sad and still be over here.
I don't think that this is this group. This is a group of people who have been given plenty of signs about their peers to see them as who they are, and they rarely, if ever,
continue to,
which makes it compelling TV. Either way, we have to go. We'll certainly talk more about all this on Thursday's episode. I am sure there'll be more news in the Summer House scandal, along with who knows what's going on with the Mormon wives. Will Jessie Draper be in another video with another mysterious man? We don't know, but we will certainly be talking all about it on Thursdays. Do not forget to check out the Age of Attraction reunion if you haven't already. Thank you to our guests, Miguel Luciano, Cynthia Bailey, and Rebecca Jennings from the New York Magazine. We appreciate them all, and we appreciate all you listening. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.